is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours on this Monday afternoon. A ton to get into. A busy weekend in the sports world. A rough sports weekend for the Memphis area teams as both Tiger football and Tiger basketball lost. The Grizzlies lost. A lot of losses over the weekend. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about all the other action from around the country that took place over the weekend as well. We'll also break down some Monday Night Football as that comes your way later tonight. We'll have the action right here on Sports 56, Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. So plenty to talk about this afternoon. Brett, how are you today?
Brian, I'm doing well. You were at FedEx Forum yesterday, right?
I was not at FedEx Forum yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were there.
No,
okay, I'm sorry.
I had some prior engagements that I needed to take care of, so I unfortunately was not able to get down there yesterday afternoon. But watched all of it, and
I thought you were there. I was hoping that you got a hug from Coach Josh Pastner since he was handing out hugs.
Yeah, hugs were going around. Unfortunately, I did not receive a hug. I was not in
you really got covered toughly when you're hugging people when you see them the next time.
No, you're just handing out hugs. You're like Oprah with the hugs. I mean, you get a hug.
Let's hug it out.
Everybody gets a hug. So, yeah, he got the
standing up to truth, standing up to power.
Well,
journalists getting the hugs, the hugathon.
He gave out all the hugs and had the last laugh yesterday.
And gave out a tail whipping too.
That's right. He was the big winner yesterday afternoon inside FedEx Forum. And Brett, I just want to, because you talk about, I think we're very fair. I think we take responsibility for a lot of things, Brett. When we make mistakes, we own up to them, right? I think it was our fault for the weekend because of the fight songs we played Friday afternoon. I think that just the vibes were bad after that. Playing Big Ten fight songs, and what were we thinking?
Bad Big Ten fight songs.
Right,
it wasn't like we're rolling out, Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah, it was two bad fight songs. I think that just the juju the rest of the weekend just didn't feel good after that.
Nobody even knew what they were.
Brett, I didn't know what they were, and you texted me what fight songs we were going to play. So it's. I think I'll hold up my hand. I'll say that one's on us.
I'll do it too.
Yeah.
I'll do it too.
Very big. Landon's going to join in. He's got his hand up.
I'll do it as well.
So, all right, all hands up. But yeah.
And I think that admission officially ends the rookie year for Landon. No more rookie of the year stuff.
No more rookie of the year. When you take blame, you're not a rookie
for
anymore.
wrecking a whole weekend.
That's right. Yes. You cannot.
Well, I'll take the rookie award for that. That was the first time.
I don't think that gets an award. It might get something, but an award.
I'm still hanging a banner.
It is. No, I don't know. About that.
I truly yesterday afternoon I was caught up, getting home, getting settled in. Watching the NFL, forgot about the Tiger game. Got to it about 4:40, 4:45, and immediately I thought of this game under Josh Pastner. No, not the CBU game, but a game. Remember the game against Texas Arlington?
Yeah, I do.
That's the game it reminded me of.
Wow.
And weren't we filled with memories? Did you catch the montage they played at FedEx Forum yesterday?
So I saw the videos of what they played at FedEx Forum, and then I saw during coming back from one of the breaks on ESPN, they showed a bunch of pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Coming back, oh man, the memories were rolling yesterday.
And the one that got me right in the feels, I bet it got a lot of people. Austin Nichols and Shaq Goodwin.
Oh, man. Oh, the memories of those guys. Mine was Nick Marshall. Oh, getting to see Nick Marshall on the bench in one of those pictures. Oh, man. Miss Nick Marshall.
What I really missed are nets around people's necks from cutting them down in NCAA tournaments.
That's right. Yeah, no, there was.
I missed those pictures.
No, there was none of that. Just a lot of success in the CUSA.
And Josh talking about, well, I was the only one that wanted the job. Yeah, because you had powerful local interests bulldoze the field for you.
That's right. Yeah. Just kind of, let it fall into your lap.
See, most in the hazy den of history, they have forgotten that. I have not.
No, you have not. And I don't think it should be forgotten.
And now they're just kind of writing it a little bit like this. Once again, over the weekend, by an influential, credible sports voice in Memphis, wanting to talk about what if in 2020, if it wasn't for COVID, that was the year that Penny was going to make the tournament run.
Oh, right.
I will again remind you, they entered the American tournament that weekend as the 6th seed.
I was about to say.
That means you are the 6th best team in a league.
Yeah.
The seeding goes exactly how you finish.
Yeah.
Oh, but Brett, they were hot down the stretch. No, they were 5-5 down the stretch. There was no magical, the vid cost us the big Penny run.
Well, Brett, I think everything you just explained is the magic in COVID. Is we just completely shut it all down, and you can
do whatever you want.
What the season was after that. I mean,
you can decide that a mask setting outside was good for you.
Yes. So I think that was the.
You can decide stupid lines painted on the floor at Walmart were good for you.
That's right. Yeah. No, that you could do whatever, and yeah, you're right. I forgot about. I knew they were around 5 or 6 or something in the conference going in. Now, yeah, I just pulled up how they ended the season.
What seed was it?
I think you're right. It was about 5, but I'm looking at the way the season ended, and it was 3 straight losses. It could have been 6. I don't have it in front of me. I'm just on KenPom, so it doesn't tell me what they were in the conference. I know it was around there. South Florida, Cincinnati, UConn, all losses. Beat East Carolina, Houston, lost to SMU, beat Tulane, Wichita State, and then lost to Houston. So yeah, it was not a great end of the season. It was a struggle at the end of the season.
Yeah, it was.
So no, I think a lot of that's just made up. But yesterday afternoon was not good for the Tigers on the hardwood. UNLV came in. We talked about it with Jason Munns on Friday. They were injured already. They yesterday morning it was announced that it was reported that more guys were going to be out with injuries, and still that UNLV team came in.
And they were terrible.
And
I'm looking at the bracket. 6 seed Memphis against 11 seed East Carolina. That means you're 6th place.
That's right. Yeah.
In this magic that was getting ready to be turned on that year.
No, it was.
People, stop that. Google lasts forever.
Mm-hmm. No, it does. You're right about that. I mean, it's very easy. It took you 2 seconds to look that up?
And I may be the slowest person on earth to get to it.
I didn't want to say it, Brett, but
trying not to knock over a soft drink into my laptop, getting to it.
So yeah, I mean, very quick to go on there and look those things up. But I mean, you look at everything that happened yesterday. You said it. I mean, UNLV was not that good. They just
they were horrible.
I mean, they hustled a lot more than the Tigers.
What about No Name?
Oh, that guy was awesome. That guy, I put me on notice of that guy. I mean, he was 6 to start the game. He was 40-40 to end the game.
Reminded me of the Great America song in the 70s. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name.
Well,
No Name.
Yeah, he was. And I think they even made a reference on the broadcast of I think he switched jerseys and the Tigers forgot who he was because he's No Name out there and. But that's
almost like something you do in those make-up games,
right?
Those make-believe games.
Right, just throw a jersey on and get out there. But he was good. He had played the entire second half and was awesome.
Of the 3 very local weekend disasters, which one causes you more long-term fret and worry? I know in the short term, we're all there. We're there for Tiger football. Mm-hmm. We're there for Tiger basketball. We're there for the Grizzlies. And I think all 3 have one big thing in common. There is a crisis of confidence in the leadership of all 3, of the head coach of all 3.
Sure.
But which one of the 3 really gives you, man, this may not just be a right now thing. This could be a while thing.
Yeah, I think Tiger basketball, just because of how early it is. This was a game Friday we were talking about. I mean, you better win this game, and to go out there to lose it the way they did, and to have the amount of questions you have following it, I'd say Tiger basketball.
So for Tiger basketball, a while thing of concern we know till March, right?
Oh yeah.
Brian, of the 3, that's my least concern.
Really?
Because it's so early. For how you laid out, I'm going to turn it on you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just going to turn it on you and say that's one of the strong suits that Penny Hardaway can sell to people. We're 1 and 2, and he was stand up as you can be yesterday. On him, they're not responding to me, etc. I don't know if all that was exact quotes, but that's what you could infer from it.
That's basically what he said.
Tiger football's got one regular season game and unless they go to the Liberty Bowl, as I mentioned last week, and was shot down by many. And now, and both yesterday, whoever Bonagura is and Mark Schleybaugh, they both had Iowa State and Memphis in the Liberty Bowl.
Oh, please, not again.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to see that again.
So you got Navy and a potential bowl game, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it until really we turn on Tiger football, ramp up 10th August next year.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be the summertime love like the last 2 years. It's sure not going to be by me. I can't trust them. The Grizzlies is the answer for me. It's the one I'm most concerned about because of things on and off the court. Stars always hurt.
Yeah.
The team not responding to a new coach in the embryonic stage of his coaching career when it's never been the successful European coach, and the Keystone Cops running the team.
Yeah. No, I would definitely say it was between Tiger basketball and Grizzlies for me, because Grizzlies are in a really, really bad spot right now. More injuries, like you mentioned with Ja Morant. We learned today that he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks, so it's going to be at least another 2 weeks before we see him even back to the field. For Tiger football, I mean, kind of knew the season was over before East Carolina. That just put the nail in the coffin of the season with that loss against East Carolina, and got the lead late, and East Carolina basically walked down the field and scored that touchdown late to win the game. So yeah, a really bad weekend for the Memphis sports teams.
Last week we were wondering, what constitutes a good year. If the Tigers close out with a win Thanksgiving night, and I think it's going to be really tough to cobble together a crowd now for that. But if they do, and they do win, 9-3, right?
No, that'd be 8. It would be 9-3. You're right.
9-3.
8-3 right now.
Go to a bowl game, even if it is the Roasters Coffee Bowl. You win a 10th game. I'm not pleased with the end, but we still are talking about Tiger football.
We are, but I still think I don't think you can consider that a good season. I mean, I think when we're all sitting here going, it's college football playoffs, you're on the bracket the first week, and then you lose to UAB earlier, and then you lose to East Carolina. I mean, those are just, we talked about losing to Tulane, we talked about losing to USF,
Arkansas,
losing about Navy, Arkansas. We didn't talk about those, and it would be another season where you're not in the conference championship. You're playing in a whatever bowl. I mean, I think 10 wins, cool. Like that's great, but at some point, the success is getting to a conference championship and it's getting to the college football playoffs, and it's going to be another season without either of those.
And how much will it really sting? It's already going to. But the losses now piling up, and another one to Navy won't sting as much. But beat Navy, and you look up, and one of those two teams in the American Championship game would be North Texas.
Yeah.
They were able to get there, and Ryan Silverfield hadn't been.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the big conversation. Is you have the biggest budget in the conference. You're able to go out and get guys out of the transfer portal and on the recruiting trail that other teams in the American just can't get, and then you go out there, you play the games, and
now, some report that South Florida, but it's right there with South Florida.
Okay, top two. I mean that tomato. It's North Texas isn't higher than you.
I think
UAB isn't higher than you.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're
East
right.
Carolina isn't higher than you.
You're pounding me. You're right.
No, I mean, I don't mean to, but I mean,
you're right though.
It's great if USF has a budget on par.
River boxing. I'm in the corner, just covered up.
No, please don't. It's too early. It's too early to be covering up. But no, I mean, I think that was look. East Carolina was a loss that we talked about preseason. Of hey, if it happens, that's a tricky game. But it's not even the East Carolina loss. It's the fact that it all goes back to the UAB loss, Brett.
And now, remember the pushback I got for dubbing it the worst loss in program history. Is anybody doubting that now?
No, I don't think you should.
And the resentment that I got for calling that game and then calling the Tulane game the biggest game in school history, I really believe, Brian, a lot of the people that push back on that just didn't want to come to terms with we lost at UAB in front of nobody.
It's probably true. I
And
mean,
didn't want to label Tulane that in case they lost it. You know, we joke with you how you were scared, reluctant, reticent about some games.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people that pushed back and resented, indignant toward me for saying that, they were scared they were going to lose it and didn't want to set it that high.
I think you're right. I think you are spot on. So we'll talk a lot about all of these games, everything that happened over the weekend, especially with these Memphis teams. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30. Jonah Dillon, Tiger football beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. He'll join us. We'll talk about that loss against East Carolina this season as a whole going forward. A lot of questions. Brendan Lewis started that game against East Carolina, even though he was listed as questionable before the game. The entire afternoon was limping around, came out a couple times. He is very banged up. You got to give him credit for fighting. He plays his heart out, but man, he looks very injured out there, limping around. So we'll definitely talk about Brendan Lewis, this team as a whole. We'll do that in our next segment with Jonah Dillon. 3:45, we'll get into the basketball loss against UNLV, a 92-78 loss for the Memphis Tigers. It was a struggle all night. Tigers led 5-0. UNLV responded with a run and never looked back. No Name was out there and looked good in that second half for the Running Rebels.
Who was the other guy for UNLV that had the game of his life?
Williamson?
Hamilton.
No, not Hamilton. Fleming. Howie Fleming Jr. Yes.
Yeah.
From UT Rio Grande Valley. He did. He looked really good, especially in that first half. So, yeah. 25. Him, Williamson, both had 25. You had Tyron Jones, Mr. No Name, come off the bench for 14. Williamson and Jones, both true freshmen. And kind of under-recruited and land at UNLV. And
look out, Tart. Josh is building something.
Hey.
I missed my hug from Josh. You think you'd have given me a hug?
I think so. If you're there, I think you're just giving them out left and right. You know, I don't think.
Well, I don't want one just if everybody's getting
true.
one.
That's fair. You want it to mean something.
I mean, Josh can throw the bouquets out.
He can. He absolutely was.
I wonder if Josh would have given me a hug.
I think he would have. I wish we could go.
Good.
Can the beam machine take us back in time? And we'll see if you can get a hug out of him. But we'll talk about that game at 3:45. 4 o'clock, David Cobb from CBS Sports. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of college football and college basketball with him. Plenty to discuss with David Cobb. We'll get his thoughts on both Tiger football and Tiger basketball. 4:30, we'll get to our Sissy's Log Cabin, look back at the weekend in the SEC. A whole lot of SEC action to discuss, including Texas A&M. Did not look like Texas A&M in the first half at all. Certainly looked the part in the second half.
Third quarter.
Oh, yeah, it really was just the third quarter. I mean, it was just like that. And
Little Shane declared victory at halftime, though, didn't he?
Oh, he sure did. It really did. But a big win for Texas A&M, a big comeback for them. We'll talk about that game and all the other games around the SEC. 4:45, we get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock to Michael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. He'll join us. We'll discuss the Grizzlies, Ja Morant's injury, everything going on with this Grizzlies team. 5:30, we'll get to our Monday Night Football pick and preview the Cowboys and the Raiders later tonight in Las Vegas. And we'll also rank our big four quarterbacks all time for both the Cowboys and the Raiders. And then at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The Hot Tub and Spa clearance sale. It's going on right now at Family Leisure. Hot tubs starting at $24.99. Swim spas starting at $14,999. In-stock patio furniture now up to 50% off. Head out there and purchase those hot tub covers. They're just $249, and the spa steps and cover lift starting at just $99. Special financing, it's available, and if you mention this ad, receive a free gift with the hot tub purchase. Head out there, Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
Happy week before Thanksgiving week.
Right.
We're Sports Time. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a big part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. As Bryant said, we're always in our Family Leisure Studios. He's Bryant. I'm Brett. Our producer is Landon Schmidt. We're always from our Family Leisure Studios, and thank you so much to them. Also, this hour, every day, brought to you by the great people at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all remaining 2025 models. The 2026 is starting to take over as we're getting closer and closer to 2026. And always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Please stop by Lexus of Memphis, the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at LexusOfMemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, Brett, this is the afternoon. I wish we had the wheel. I mean, you could really just spin it and land on whatever top story of the day.
All you have to do is you well know in this business, when I see them do it on game day, the wheel, there's no random topics. It's just the wheel sound effect. They know what they're getting ready to be asked. It's always a coaching question for Nick Saban.
Right.
It's always a quarterback-type question for Kirk Herbstreit. It's always skill position, Heisman-type question for Desmond Howard.
Right.
And it's always something stupid for stupid for Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee. I didn't know if you were gonna let everybody know who you were.
It's just the sound effect.
That's right.
So get a sound effect of a wheel, and we'll act like we landed on it.
We'll figure that out later. But my top story of the day, it's got to be the loss yesterday afternoon for Penny Hardaway and this Tigers team. A 92-78 loss against Josh Pastner and the UNLV Running Rebels. A UNLV team that already just...
I would hug Josh Pastner to hear him say, "Go Rebels, go." Just one time to hear him say, "Go Rebels, go."
Yeah, well, I mean, you might get it out of him. I don't know. Do you have to add the running part on there? I don't know if you can just throw out "Go Rebels," but he was handing out hugs and getting wins yesterday at FedEx Forum for the Tigers. Just another performance that leaves you with a lot of questions. Even after the Ole Miss game, you kind of came out of it going, good result, or hate the result, but good performance, some good takeaways out of it. But there was one question in that game, in the first game, and it still remains after the third game. What is going on with this front court? Who is the answer in the front court? Penny Hardaway made a lineup change to the starting five. He sent Aaron Bradshaw to the bench, and he only ended with about 10 minutes in that game yesterday against UNLV. 4 points, only 1 rebound, 3 turnovers for Aaron Bradshaw yesterday.
Didn't the Tigers get a Rio Grande guy this offseason?
He hadn't played yet. He's injured.
Man, just think if we had him and...
Well, that's right.
What's the other guy's name?
I'm going to have to
Not
find
no
it
name,
now.
but the other guy.
Howie Fleming Jr. Yeah, it would have been
Should have got Howie.
Would have been a homecoming. I mean, you should have gotten him. Maybe I don't know. We haven't seen our UT Rio Grande Valley transfer, so I don't want to rank them against each other. But Howie Fleming Jr. was really good. 25 points for him. The freshman for UNLV, they shined yesterday. But the Tigers, they need to figure out the answer at the front court position. The shots were not falling yesterday. Only 42% from the field for the game, 24% from three. A whole lot more questions for this Tigers team. And now, after the AP poll was released earlier today, Tigers, they've got a date with the #1 team in the country Thursday night in the Bahamas against Purdue.
What will that point spread be? Seriously.
Whew, yeah, it'll be up there.
Does Ken Palm do any predictive analysis of that before that?
Yeah, he does a score. He has Memphis losing by 12 right now.
I'd take that.
I'd be thrilled with a 12-point loss to Purdue.
My top story: the SEC. It took a slight turn on Saturday from where we all thought it was going, with Bama losing at home at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Kalen DeBoer's first home loss since he's been head coach at Alabama, and the first homecoming loss since 2001 at the Capstone. 2 L's on the year, but only 1 in the SEC for the Tide. All the tiebreakers will go their way. It's just a rule. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to learn the rule book. You just have to understand. A&M, it looks like now they'll be in. Georgia lurking, and Ole Miss, they can't. I don't think they can be in the championship game, but unless Texas beat Texas A&M, and I still don't know if that would do it. But Ole Miss still must beat Mississippi State to guarantee college football playoff, and it would. But without it, you lose at Starkville in the Egg Bowl, you're at the ultimate mercy of the court, and the new college football chairman will never forgive not getting Lane Kiffin.
That is true, and I always kind of giggle because I forget who our new chair of the College Football Playoff Committee is. Makes me laugh every single time.
Not top story of the day.
Well, and Brett, speaking of that, I've got to change my not top story of the day because we have breaking news. The coaching carousel has officially begun, according to Pete Nakos. And on 3, Virginia Tech is hiring James Franklin as its next head coach. A really, really good hire for Virginia Tech.
He probably had Arkansas if he wanted.
Oh, I think so. And it sounded like, I think we were talking about it with David Cohn last week it seemed like the conversations between him and Virginia Tech feels like they've been going on for the last 3 or 4 weeks, but it sounded like he was maybe holding off, maybe seeing if Florida State would open up, but now looks like he has agreed to take the job at Virginia Tech. Now, what does that mean for Arkansas? You just mentioned it felt like he had Arkansas if he wanted that. Where do they pivot now? Where do they turn to their top candidate now that their number one, at least assuming he was their number one, is off the board? But I do love this hire for Virginia Tech. We talk about James Franklin being that program builder. Virginia Tech has kind of needed that type of identity, and I think they'll get it with James Franklin.
Brian, I had a former SEC coach tell me several years ago that from Charlotte to Philadelphia, if you just drove up whatever that interstate is, that area, that's going to be the new recruiting hotbed.
Really?
Now, that was before NIL. I don't know if it would still be the same thing, but just the population, how it's booming and growing in that area, just ripe with ball players. So James Franklin, new coach of John Gowen's alma mater. Congratulations, John Gowen.
Congratulations, John. I think he's probably pretty happy with that hire.
My not top story, a trifecta of 901 disaster. Tigers football, Grizzlies, Tigers basketball. I think I know which one was worse for the long term, but for the short term, I think the Tiger football is the worst because it's degenerated now into hoping for a third trip to the Liberty Bowl. The Grizzlies, shocking, jaws hurt, and Tigers basketball suffers the indignity of losing to G. Willikers Josh. Don't know how the weekend could have been worse.
Yeah, it was not a fun weekend at all. But we need to wrap up. That'll do it for top and not top story of the day. We need to get to our first break of the day. When we return, we're talking Tiger football. The Tiger football beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal, Jonah Dillon. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, everybody out there. Walker Taylor with Germantown and Collierville Commissary. Football season is upon us. Nothing better for your next tailgate party than a barbecue buffet spread provided by the Germantown or Collierville Commissary. Catering, self-serve or full, is a specialty of ours. No party too small, no party too large. You can check out our pricing and the items we feature at commissarybbq.com. Holidays will be upon us soon. At our Collierville location, we have a party room for 30 up to 100, perfect for family, business, or church functions. We also have a patio at the Collierville location, perfect in the fall for enjoying football and eating barbecue. Monday through Friday at the Collierville location, we also offer an all-you-can-eat buffet featuring barbecue pulled pork, ribs, fried chicken, and catfish. Each location also offers a $10.95 lunch special, a sandwich, a side, and a drink. Please come visit us at the original in Germantown by the railroad tracks or our new location in Collierville at Houston Levy and Poplar. And as always, go Tigers go.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Volkswagen deal days are on during the Sign Then Drive sales event at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. It's Sign Then Drive with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 do-it signing now available. Plus, take your pick at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 Taos S, $199 a month. So hurry to Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike for the Sign Then Drive sales event with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 do-it signing now available. Plus Jetta Sport or Taos S, $199 a month. So visit online at GossettVWMemphis.com or hurry to Gossett Volkswagen 1875 Covington Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Volkswagen. All 36-month leases, 7,500 miles, 25 cents excess mileage. Jetta SMO 85397, MSRP 25916. Taos SMO 56598, MSRP 27011. Must finance through Volkswagen Financial Services. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax file and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/25.
This holiday season is short. Make every moment magical with a trip to Sissy's Log Cabin. Here, you'll take all your festive looks to the next level and find gifts to wow every one of your family and friends. Discover our unmatched quality, brilliant natural diamonds, and spectacular service when you shop in store or online at sissyslogcabin.com. Make this the most wonderful time of the year with a trip to Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We still see a couple of rain showers moving through certain parts of the area out here during rush hour traffic. So give yourself a little extra time. Some went through earlier there around Forest City. Again, it's all west of Memphis as you head down the interstate there. And lots of radar out here earlier, I-40, especially traveling into Fayette County, coming out of Shelby County. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save 40% off right now. Zips Car Wash gift cards and washboards, perfect for stocking stuffers. Check them out online at zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some Tiger football. Joining us now, the football beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal, Jonah Dillon. He joins us now. Jonah, thanks so much for joining us. It was another loss for the Tigers Saturday afternoon, this time on the road against East Carolina. The first time the Tigers have lost back-to-back games since the 2022 season, when they lost 4 in a row, including in that 4-game losing streak, a loss against East Carolina on the road. So a little similar there. What did you see in that game Saturday afternoon that led to the second straight loss for the Tigers?
Yeah, it was a different kind of game. I mean, after the Tulane game, I think I talked about it with you guys. I wrote about it, that every game Memphis had lost over the past 2 years had pretty much looked exactly the same in terms of what happened in the game, and then Memphis coming back and almost winning. This game was different because it was close throughout the whole game. Memphis played better in the first half than we've seen a lot of times this season. That's really been the issue, and obviously that was the top issue against Tulane. And then the Tigers just didn't get the stops at the end of the game. I mean, there were multiple opportunities that Memphis had to win the game, obviously going back to that final drive where ECU goes down the field pretty quickly and pretty easily and scores after Memphis stalled when they got that turnover in the red zone, had to settle for a field goal, and then ultimately ECU made enough plays. It was a close game. It could have gone either way, and these are the types of games that obviously you have to win if you're going to get to a conference title game, and obviously Memphis isn't going to do that this season.
Talking about the injury to Brendan Lewis, we saw him limping around against East Carolina. What did you see throughout that game, and kind of where is he at with injuries?
Yeah, once again, obviously not 100%. He was limping in warm-ups. He was limping throughout the game. He left the game multiple times. Clearly was not his normal self. The player that we saw the first half of the season, in terms of the mobility, has not been there since he got the injury against UAB, and then obviously kind of continued to aggravate it a couple times, including against Rice. That's the one that I think people are going to remember because of where the game was at the time. He was still in there. And it's leading to this, obviously, like, now the die is cast, it is what it is, but I think there's a conversation to be had at some point about what Memphis was getting from Brendan Lewis and what Memphis would have gotten from one of its other quarterbacks at some point, because obviously we've seen those guys play a little bit in kind of less than half each of play, and even less than that for Arrington Maiden, but obviously, the coaches see them in practice. They made the decision. It's clear that Brendan Lewis is not 100%, but it's also clear they've decided whatever percentage they have is better than the alternative.
Where do the Tigers go from here, Jonah?
Well, it's one more game, and you don't want to lose 3 in a row. And if Ryan Silverfield can pull off a win against Navy, then he's going to get a 1-year contract extension. So there's a lot to play for him. There's a lot to play for the team in the sense that, look, you want to get to double-digit wins for the 3rd straight season. I know nobody wants to hear that, and fair enough. I said it last season. I think the number of wins is irrelevant at this point. It's about expectations and where you are. And it's crazy. Less than 2 weeks ago, Memphis was in the bracket for the playoff, and now we're talking about bowl games, and we're talking about a season that's essentially over with a game to go.
Yeah, I said it degenerated into this, and this isn't very much. So if they win, they tack that extra year on. How many years would that leave them on a contract with him?
It'll be 5 from the end of the season.
So he's got a fresh 5. So any changes in the future, whether if it's after 2 years you pay off 3, everybody can do the math. What about any bowl bonus in that? Just going to any bowl, does he get a bonus?
Yeah, so he gets a bonus if he goes to a bowl. There's a lot of stuff that's standard for all coaches, but if they win a bowl game, if they win a bowl game over a power conference opponent, all those things. So that'll play into it. I mean, I will say the thing with the contract is it does. If the contract is extended, then it raises both the buyout to fire him and the buyout to leave, both of which have been discussed by fans this season. So buyout to leave, I mean by if he were to leave for a different job. So there's a lot that goes into that. I think in terms of the game, it's going to be interesting because Navy is in a position where they're right in the mix for the conference style game, and they are going to be desperate to win that game. So there are going to be stakes, at least on one side. Obviously, the conference, when they set up the game, they hoped that both teams would be in it, and they got one. So there you go.
And I would imagine, even especially now with the loss, plenty of tickets available for that Thanksgiving night that we were worried could potentially be tough to sell for. Anyway, Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal on the Tiger Football Beat with us, as he's been all season long on Monday afternoon. For Ryan Silverfield, do you feel like, can you report that anybody's coming hard for him in the coaching carousel?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say at this point. We're seeing the James Franklin stuff with Virginia Tech. A lot of jobs are going to be open. More jobs are going to open, and then jobs are going to open when coaches leave for other jobs. So all it takes is one. So you never really know. I think it is sort of a trend that we're seeing. A lot of the coaches that aren't named Lane Kiffin, who are kind of being circled for some of these jobs, are not necessarily doing great down the stretch here. You look at Alex Golesh at USF, right? I mean, they're in a similar situation, and even some of the power conference jobs, Missouri's not doing great. Georgia Tech has struggled a little bit. Those are guys who obviously are being touted for some of these jobs. So it's interesting to see how that's playing out. I don't know that Memphis losing a couple of games, I don't know how much that affects the way that administrators across the country look at Ryan Silverfield, look at the job. And like I said, the same for all those other guys. But it's just going to come to, like I said, it's all it takes is one. It's going to come down to the situations that are available when the season's over.
As it concerns Ryan Silverfield after Virginia Tech, because his name was linked there, and there were a lot of people shot that down because they tried it with Justin Fuente, didn't work out. But what do you think the next job to be filled would affect him? Is it Arkansas?
Yeah, it seems like Arkansas probably would. I just think what we're going to see is a lot of these, even, and that's not to say, first of all, a couple of other coaches will probably get fired by the time the season is over. But I think what's going to happen is people are obviously going to leave. I mean, it starts with Lane Kiffin, right? Imagine if Kiffin were to leave, just the chain reaction that would set off, right? Then Ole Miss is getting somebody, and then, that person, whatever it is leaving. And that's going to happen at multiple places, right? If Eli drinks, and Missouri's going to need to go for somebody, and that person, those types of things. And so I think right now we're looking at the jobs as if like, okay, well, who's going to get this job? Who's going to get this job? The reality is a lot more jobs are going to be open, even if it takes them time. And so you just never know, like I said, with those situations, who they're going to look for or what they're going to be looking for.
My thoughts on it, if you were going to hire Ryan Silverfield at any of these open jobs, Arkansas, any of these that are open, you would have had to have the appetite for him and ready to make the big offer, and maybe have already made it to his representation 3 or 4 weeks ago, because now I'm looking at a coach that today is 6th place in the American, and if he lost Thanksgiving night, could fall as much as ninth in the American Conference. And I can just hear boosters going, we're hiring the 9th place finishing coach in the American?
Yeah, well, that goes back to what I was saying before with some of these other coaches. I mean, Alex Golesh has been one of the hottest names in the coaching cycle pretty much all season, and they just lost another game that they shouldn't have lost, and they're not going to go to the conference title game. And everybody pretty much agrees that they have the most expensive roster in the conference, and so I'm sure the boosters are having the same conversation about, is this the guy? Obviously, kind of a different situation. He hasn't been there as long. He has the history at Tennessee and all that stuff, and the ability to recruit and all those things. But I think a lot of these coaches, people are saying, okay, well, is the team checked out? That's a conversation that's been had from a lot of different places. I haven't really seen it in Memphis. And again, the way that Memphis lost on Saturday was not the team was checked out. I don't think that's why they lost the game or why they lost to Tulane. But those are the things that I'm going into right now with all these different situations, and you just never really know.
And with another loss, say a loss to Navy, heck, a bowl game loss, how do you go back to the NIL benefactors and go, hey, re-up again, we're this close?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think that's the same thing. Again, like, these are the conversations I think that are being had at a lot of different schools with, okay, you had this amount of resources and you didn't get it done to the extent that we wanted. How do we continue to build on this? Memphis is in a good situation because you have these corporate entities that are pretty committed to the athletic department and to the program. So I don't know that you're necessarily going to specific people and saying, like, I need you to give me this much money for this specific thing. And it's hard to know. A lot of times these schools are saying, it's financially better to spend money on the roster than on a new coach or something. And that's been successful at some places. You see it at Virginia this year. You see some schools already basically saying that's what they're going to do for next year. I think Maryland and Wisconsin being the main ones. And so those are the conversations that everybody's having behind the scenes, both athletic departments and with boosters, of where do you want to spend money and how do you convince people that they need to spend money at this specific time.
Yeah, I think it would be very difficult to go to Kevin Plank at Under Armour, the big Maryland booster, and go, hey, we need a couple more million for Mike Loxley.
Well, look, that's what the conversations that they're having in Maryland. They said, look, we're going to keep this guy because we're not going to spend money to buy him out. So whatever money we were going to spend on that, we're going to spend on the roster. And they have to go to people and say, we got to do it to support this coach. Again, it does work at places. Look at Texas Tech. Look at Virginia. If you spend money and you have the right situation, it can work. It's just not guaranteed.
Yeah, no, it absolutely can. Jonah, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your week, and we'll do it again next Monday.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jonah.
Thank you, Jonah. Jonah Dillon with us from the Commercial Appeal. And Brian, look, I hope the Tigers win next week from Thursday night, and much needed open date against Navy. And I hope they go over to whatever bowl and they finish 10-3. And then I think you can, with enthusiasm, go back to the big benefactors.
Sure.
But the biggest, and Jonah referenced the corporate side of it, we're all talking about FedEx. We know that. But even for FedEx, I know where they're based, and I know they're proudly based here, and I know they're very proud of what they've done, and I know we'll do more. But FedEx has employees and stockholders of fans of a lot of other teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like y'all were talking about. I mean, it is a big question. I like the example you used with Maryland and Under Armour. And so, yeah, I mean, it's tough, when you have a season like this and you don't reach those expectations to go back and say, hey, we need more money. We got to have a bigger budget. And so, like you said, if you beat Navy, if you go to a bowl game, if you win, if you can kind of have some momentum there, then I think you can. But it's always a tough ask.
Ton of difference of 10-3 and 8-5.
Oh, it absolutely. I mean, when we were talking in that opening segment about, hey, you win 10 games, there is a big difference. I think we're all looking at it going, okay, cool. But when you're going out there, when you're trying to sell this program, when you're trying to do that fundraising, getting that 10 wins is a big difference from sitting at 8 wins. So.
Try selling a season ticket coming off of bowl loss and finishing 8-5.
It's a lot harder than that 10-win season. So, like you said, a much-needed week off for the Tigers, and then we know that that matchup on Thanksgiving against Navy. But let's go ahead and get to another break. When we return, we're going to talk some Tiger basketball. They lost yesterday afternoon against UNLV. We'll discuss it next on Sports Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quirky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Your Memphis Tigers football team is home for the regular season finale Thursday, November 27th, as they take on the Navy Midshipmen at 6:30. It's a Tiger Thanksgiving feast, and the first 5,000 fans will receive a Memphis football replica jersey apron. Arrive early as we celebrate our seniors one last time at Liberty Stadium. Don't miss the action, the giveaways, and the memories. Visit GoTigersGo.com/tickets for more information or to grab your seats today.
Hey everybody, it's time to gobble up the savings. All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch is thankful for all of our customers. Red tags for 0 interest financing are now on every new Silverado and Equinox. And look, your good credit deserves it. All new Chevy Colorados and Equinoxes in stock are now just $100 over invoice. So it's time to gobble up the savings and be in what you really want to drive this Thanksgiving. If you're law enforcement, military, first responder, you get an extra $500 bonus. And Olive Branch is where all the new Chevys are. And it's the only place you can find all the barely driven certified pre-owned Chevys you want. Every pre-owned you could ever want. It's right here in Olive Branch. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy and get the most money for it today. So don't miss the Gobble Up the Savings sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Or go to allstarautogroup.com.
At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical, we've proudly served families across the Mid-South since 1958. Still family owned and operated, we're built on tradition, trust, and old-fashioned service you can count on. And now to celebrate 68 years of service, we're offering a heating tune-up for just $68. Keep your home safe, efficient, and ready for the cold months ahead. Looking to upgrade? Right now, get up to $2,000 in instant carrier cool cash rebates, plus 60 months, no interest financing on select carrier systems. That means comfort and savings today and peace of mind for years to come. But that's not all. Upgrade today and take advantage of $500 off a tankless water heater or a whole home generator installation. Even more ways to protect your home and your family. Don't wait. These special offers won't last. Call 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com today and turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Well, we just got done talking Tiger football with Jonah Dillon from the Commercial Appeal. Now we got to talk the basketball side of things. Lost last night for Penny Hardaway and his group against UNLV. It was a game where came out, quick 5-0 run, And then after that, it was pretty much all UNLV. They never really turned back. Tigers had a couple runs in the second half to cut into the lead. At times, maybe, it looked like they could maybe do something, but it seemed like every time they went on a run, made it close, UNLV responded on the other end. So another loss. Tigers now 1-2, and competition just gets tougher. You've got now the number 1 team in the country, Purdue, who made the jump back to number 1 in the AP poll. Then after that game, you'll either see Wake Forest or Texas Tech. Both teams have looked good to start the season, so it's not gonna be easy for the Tigers this weekend.
Yeah, Purdue on Thursday, and Purdue, it feels like they're going to be at the last weekend of college basketball, right there in their backyard in Indianapolis. Whether they win or not, we'll see. And if you lose to Purdue, you get the defeated team between Texas Tech and Wake Forest. Steve Forbes will try to maul Penny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, both those teams have looked really good, whether it is Texas Tech or Wake Forest. But, you look at both these teams. You mentioned Steve Forbes. Wake Forest took a really good Michigan team to overtime. That's their only loss in the season. Texas Tech, that same night, played a really good Illinois team. That game, I think, lost by 3 or 4 points in that one. That's their only loss. So this is a tough group of opponents that you're going to potentially see. And so, yeah, it's you might be staring down at an 0-2 weekend down in the Bahamas.
Yeah, and then would return home against Southern Illinois at 1-4, and then that would be the big game to try to turn it around. Then New Orleans, that's had a good win, and New Orleans all in the news over the player speaking. Try to get some vibe back in the building for the Baylor game, and Louisville always, it seems, magical. Vanderbilt would get people excited. Going to state Mississippi State would get people excited. So as bad as it felt yesterday with people leaving the very small crowd, and I very small crowd.
Yeah.
And those people leaving early didn't look great, but it could get turned around. It's still really early in the season. It's the season's really over for Tiger football. The Grizzly season looks like it's pretty much over right now. It's not as over for Memphis, since why I'm not as dour about Tiger basketball as I am Grizzlies and then Tiger football.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And after thinking about some more, I'm with you on the Grizzlies being kind of the worst long term of the three. But I mean, you got to start figuring some things out. And
with Tiger football and with Tiger basketball, both Ryan Silverfield and Penny Hardaway have proved to be competent people that can run a program.
Sure.
We haven't had all the success that people desire, want, and hope for. But it hadn't been abject failure.
No.
It has not.
No.
Now, we know college basketball is judged by moving on in the bracket in March. The Tigers haven't done that. We know Ryan Silverfield, the success really marked by getting to a conference championship game. He hadn't done that. But it's not like they're running hokey programs.
No.
The Grizzlies coach does not look like he is close to having it. No. And we know at top, Robert Parra owns the team. He's not selling tomorrow.
No.
And it doesn't look like he's ever changing Wexler and Kleiman out.
No.
So we got them for a while, and they have not proven to be competent leaders.
No, they have not. And so you're right. That is a big difference between all of these groups. And so, yeah, I mean, I think
Ed Scott's proved to be competent.
Ed Scott has been phenomenal as an.
I trust I trust Scott, Hardaway, Silverfield more than I do Wexler, Kleiman, Isolo.
No, I do too. I absolutely do. And like I said, I mean, there's plenty of time to turn this around. You know, you mentioned some of those big time opponents that you still have in the non-conference, but you gotta find some answers to some of these, I mean, glaring issues. I think it starts in the front court. I mean, Aaron Bradshaw was unplayable yesterday. I mean, you could not put him on the floor last night. And I mean, look, I like Simon Majok. I think he's got a ton of potential. He's still very raw, and when you're turning to a freshman like that over a guy like Aaron Bradshaw that's a junior that's played at 2 power programs, I mean, that is not a good sign of things to come. And even after the game, Penny Hardaway talking about that Julius Thedford and Simon Majok going to be the cornerstones of what they're doing moving forward. And so I think just a ton of issues with this team, and unfortunately, you got to figure it out quick because this slate only gets tougher.
Who's your draw up a play, knock down a shot guy?
That's the other issue, Brett. Do you have that
15-foot
guy?
jump shot. Who is it?
I don't think they have a guy like that on this team right now, at least. I mean, that guy could emerge. It's supposed to be.
You say Bradshaw unplayable. There might be one or two others. That I don't know that you can. You can look down the bench. Hey, go to the scorer's table.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it just feels like whether it's the guy's not answering, the guy's not taking the scheme, the coaching, whatever it is. I mean, you brought in some guys that a lot of people were really excited about. And so far, I know Penny Hardaway, what was the quote he had right before the start of the season? The guys that are given the energy just aren't ready yet to play. The guys that are ready to play aren't bringing the enough energy. And I think that's been very clear through the first couple of games. I think you look at Doug McDaniel, had a really poor game yesterday against UNLV. Aaron Bradshaw has not been there at all this season. Zach Davis, still waiting for him to really pop.
That was my next.
Bench.
I don't know if you sent it to them.
Yeah, I mean, he just hasn't given you much this season. So those were three guys: Kansas State, Ohio State that was at Kentucky before, and South Carolina. Those were three pretty big programs, and they're just not really giving you much. Now Doug McDaniel, he's been a scorer in the other games. That was a bad game yesterday, but has been able to score the two previous games. He's a guy that's a streaky shooter, and we saw it. Be on that kind of the worst side of it yesterday against UNLV.
And the Tigers just cannot play defense without fouling.
No, and that was a problem against Ole Miss. It was something we talked about after that game last Tuesday, and it's something that you're still seeing here against UNLV. And unfortunately, I think it's probably going to be something you're definitely going to see it against Purdue, and I think you're going to see it throughout the rest of non-conference. I think there are a lot of questions with this team.
And if the crowd, I know it's early in the season, but yesterday's crowd, now imagine, and if the year went sideways, imagine Super Bowl Sunday at 1:00 playing Charlotte.
Yeah. It's not looking forward to it, Brett.
you could have 1,700 people there.
You could. Now, like you said, there's still plenty of time to turn around, and hey, I mean, you've got the biggest opportunity in front of you Thursday night. I mean, you go down to the Bahamas, you beat this Purdue team, we're talking, completely different. I mean, the vibes are certainly fixed. Now, that's a big ask. This Purdue team is really, really good. But you've got plenty of opportunities like that non-conference. And like you said, I think Penny Hardaway has shown that he can figure these things out. And we'll see if he's able to turn things around throughout non-conference. But unfortunately for the Tigers, because of what that conference is, you really need to win some of these non-conference games, and that loss yesterday against UNLV was one that you really, really needed to have. But let's go ahead and wrap up this first hour, get to a break. When we return, we're going to talk some college football. We'll talk some college basketball. David Cobb from CBS Sports, he joins us next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Brr months, and that means even more savings at Family Leisure. Why is this time of the year the best time of the year to shop at Family Leisure? Because Family Leisure has new stuff coming, so they need to make room. Need a cover for your hot tub? How convenient. Family Leisure has them starting at just $249. Need new spa steps or a cover lift? Family Leisure has those as well, starting at just $99. Let's say you don't have a hot tub or you want a new one. Pick yours right now, starting at $24.99. Get your laps in with a swim spa, and prices start at under $15,000. In-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. Plus, if you need special financing, Family Leisure's got you covered. One final thing. Tell the folks at Family Leisure you heard this radio commercial. You get a free gift with a hot tub purchase. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At 5 we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. 5 Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off. Because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Are you ready for what's next, Mid-South? We gossip going on at Gossett Mitsubishi's new location, 1956 Covington Pike. So get out here and take your pick. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, standard third row, or 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Your choice, only $399 a month. How about 2025 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, super all-wheel control for dynamic performance? We gossip $413 a month, or buy it for $30,245. Plus 0% for 60 months available. And peace of mind with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1956 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV SE 00816 MSRP 42615 Sport SUO 112 859 MSRP 29050 Eclipse SEO 39001 MSRP 32745 PF 895 595 acquisition fee includes all rebates and incentives 895 PF excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. The police department still gathered up around Wolf Chase Galleria this afternoon. Again, extra time in and out of that area. We see some rain showers now moving through our area right in the heart of rush hour traffic as it builds right now on 240 east from Mill Branch out to 385. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off Zips Car Wash, gift cards, and wash books. Check them out online for more information and location near you at zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some college football, college basketball. We do it at this time every single week with David Cobb.
Joining Brian and Brett now on Sports Time is national college football writer for CBS Sports, Memphis native and Tennessee grad, who you can find on Twitter X at David W. Cobb. It's David Cobb.
David Cobb joins us now to talk college football and college basketball. David, a lot of things that we could discuss in this segment, so I'm gonna open the floor to you. What was the biggest story from the weekend in either college football or college basketball?
Yeah, well, it kind of feels like it's all unfolding right now, doesn't it? Because within the last hour, you've had James Franklin and Virginia Tech finalize an agreement. So Virginia Tech making a massive upgrade in the coaching carousel, and then also a lot of smoke around the Lane Kiffin situation here today with his family visiting Louisiana per multiple reports. Also reports suggesting his family visited Gainesville yesterday. And if I'm Ole Miss, I'm not too pleased with that. You're in the midst of one of the greatest seasons in program history, and it doesn't feel like your head coach is fully committed or fully bought in. That's a problem, and it's not going away. I mean, you've got the Egg Bowl coming up, and yeah, it's a bye week, but what are we doing here? This is a chance to go out and win a national championship that we're talking about. And it seems like next season is maybe taking priority for Lane Kiffin right now. And that's it's going to be, I feel like, a situation in Oxford that, they've got to put their foot down and say, look, man, are you in or are you out? And so, because if he's out, they need to go start figuring out who they're going to hire, and get in on this carousel. And so it's a weird coaching carousel. But I'll tell you one thing: Virginia Tech, by being as bad as they were, and by pulling the trigger so early, they were able to get their administration in a alignment here and to make what might end up being one of the best hires of the carousel. By landing James Franklin, they could come out ahead of LSU, ahead of Auburn potentially, because they've got a proven winner now who is 1 year removed from being in the semifinals of the college football playoff.
All right, David, first I want you to give me the how and then the when. How will it break of the finality on Lane Kiffin? Going, staying, how will it break?
Well, it'll probably be Pete Thamel. That would be my guess.
I would bet Chris Lowe.
Yeah, he's close with Lane. And Lane, let's be real. I mean, Chris Lowe takes the more sensitive, personal approach to these stories, and that's his track record. I believe Lane Kiffin is rep by Jimmy Sexton, and obviously Chris Lowe and Jimmy have a long track record of working together in this industry, and so there might need to be another round of image rehabilitation done for Lane Kiffin here, because he's spent the last however many years selling us this new version of himself, but it feels like right now he's very much on the cusp of leaving all of the beautiful glory days, right? That he thinks he's living in, and going to an unstable situation, maybe at Florida or LSU, and quite frankly, he's going to have two. If he does that, he'll have two SEC fan bases that greet him with golf balls and middle fingers, when he's back in their stadium. So, he's going to need all the PR help he can get if he jumps.
All right, what's the win?
The win, I mean, after the Egg Bowl, I guess, right? I mean, it would be.
I don't think anybody can kind of be in this soup, because as I had a person tell me today, in Oxford on Friday, in Oxford Friday night, in Oxford during the day on Saturday, in the Grove on Saturday, at the game on Saturday night, after the game on Saturday night, into Sunday, on the scale of fun of 1 to 10, it was a 10,000. Then Monday, 10,000 goes to the 9 on the 1 to 10. And then somebody's in Baton Rouge, somebody's in Gainesville, then it's a 8, then it's a 7. I don't think you can drag out any of the 3 or however many parties involved that long. I think the wins got to be this week.
Yeah, because on the one hand, like, there's this idea of, well, maybe if he leaves, he can continue to coach. No, that's absurd, because I mean, we're talking about a guy here who couldn't even successfully juggle being the Alabama offensive coordinator when he had accepted the head coaching job at FAU. Too,
Nick Saban will never forgive him for.
And now you're also talking about another SEC job. It'd be one thing if he was going to go start an NFL job and was going to ride it out with his team in the college football playoff. But he's taking the job potentially of a direct competitor here if he goes to Florida or LSU. And then it's the divided attention. I mean, if you're going to go, you got to devote your attention to the next stop, and you don't want him having in the building exposure to your players at that point, because he's going to take them with him regardless. But you're giving him more opportunities to make a sales pitch, face to face to the talent that he's going to use to build his next roster. I mean, that's just bad management if you let him stick around. And so, I mean, the idea is that he would even let it get this far, I think is irksome, because, I mean, why do you leave Ole Miss? I mean, a great question. You got the program elevated to a really high level right now, operating at a higher level financially and on the field than it ever has before. But if you're going to leave to go somewhere where you think you can win a national title. But who's to say you can't do that right here at Ole Miss? I mean, what have they not given him? So it's bizarre. It's weird. I mean, I'm I'm not one to stand in judgment of other people's career decisions, but it just seems like an unimaginative, stale way of thinking to say, oh, I got to leave Ole Miss to go to Florida or LSU. This is not 2002 anymore. I mean, it's very clear. You can win big at Ole Miss. He is doing it. He is winning big. So it then makes you wonder, like, what are the behind-the-scenes factors at play here that might be driving this decision? Because if he were just playing the game or leveraging the situation to get a raise, I mean, that'd be done by now. I mean, there's been a contract offer on his table. I mean, look at Kurt Stignetti. Look at all these other coaches around the country. They've been there and done that. They used Florida. They used every other job, Virginia Tech, you name it, to leverage their raise. I mean, that's done. So that's not what this is anymore. This is a coach who's really considering leaving what seems to be a perfect situation. So I think it's going to get a lot uglier here if there's not a resolution. Sure, Brett, as you say, by the end of the week. I mean, I don't think that's unreasonable, kind of given where the temperature is at.
And it's time to start preparing to play in your biggest rival in a huge game a week from Friday, their own open date as well. David, help me with the calendar here, because your words, not mine. And I think most people would recognize this. Ole Miss playing to potentially win a national championship. Could any coach, could they take players before playoff games started?
Yeah, why not? Well, not before they start, because technically the portal window has been moved to January this year. But you could get into the playoff, and guys could choose to opt out or whatever. I don't think that would happen, because I think they would promote Pete Golding or something to interim head coach.
Joe Judge.
And if those guys, or Joe Judge, yeah, exactly. And if they still had if they were in the playoff, I mean, they're gonna, which they will be. I mean, at this point, I guess there's a world in which a loss to Mississippi State puts them on the bubble and things break wrong or whatever. But there's a very, very high likelihood this team is going to be in the college football playoff. No, I don't think he could take people with him immediately, because that window's not going to open until early January. But yeah, I mean, he would absolutely bring. I mean, just look around the country. It's the way it goes. Like if they made the playoff and lost their first game and under Judge or Pete Golding or whoever, I mean, give it 2 weeks and a quarter of the roster will be at wherever he ends up.
10-2 Ole Miss. Let's say they drop the Egg Bowl. 10-2 Ole Miss, 10-2 Vandy. Let's say they beat Tennessee, and 10-2 Oklahoma. 2 out of those 3 go to the playoffs. You make the pick from the committee.
Yeah, it's tough. Honestly, I have to look at them side by side. I mean, I don't think it's obvious necessarily, but I'll say this. I mean, I feel like Oklahoma's in pretty good shape at this point. I mean, with if they are going to be there at 10-2, like, they still have to beat Missouri and LSU. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you talk about a win at Tennessee, a win at Alabama. You got to win over Michigan,
and a Wascally home loss to Ole Miss.
Yeah. That's true. I mean,
I hope that doesn't occur, but I can't promise my blood pressure if, head-to-heads meant so much to that committee over the last 2 years. And then, Oklahoma's finishing strong, back in October. Never mind that it was the last playing Saturday in October. It was really close to November. That doesn't matter that much now. And another one that will drive me crazy. Well, Ole Miss is 10-2, but so is Vandy. And, Vandy's been bad so long. Let's give them the bouquet.
Well, but think about this. Think about if Kiffin does leave. I mean, you remember how heavily Florida State was penalized for the injury to Jordan Travis?
Great point. Great point.
The head coach is worth as much as the quarterback. I mean, I would say, and they just killed Florida State for not having a quarterback. What sort of impact would they put on the head coach being gone? I mean, that's a significant blow. I mean, Lane Kiffin has done a lot for Ole Miss. He's done a lot. Great. Like, this has been a fantastic year. Yeah, but I mean, think about the way things ended with Cal and Memphis. Cal did a lot for Memphis. I mean, he elevated that program. He brought the glory days back. He took them farther than they've been in a long, long time. And it took, 15 years for him to be welcomed back?
And that was by the 20 most diehard Cal lovers here.
Yeah. So, but what does Kiffin do to his legacy at Ole Miss if he up and goes on the eve of a college football playoff, especially if that scenario that you're talking about, Brett, transpires, where you've got 3 2-loss SEC teams, you can only pick 2, and then they leave Ole Miss on the doorstep because Lane Kiffin has up and left. I think that the golf balls and the mustard bottles at Tennessee, they start to look pretty tame in comparison to what it looks like the first time he comes back to the Grove.
Yeah, no, it would be certainly not very fun. Talking to David Cobb, he joins us every Monday.
Which back to the Grove would be in 28, which he wouldn't dare go to the Grove, but he would be at the stadium.
That's right.
But next year, Ole Miss goes to Gainesville.
That's right.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I just think it would be unimaginative and kind of lame to leave Ole Miss, and bet on yourself, man. Bet on your ability to do something that's never been done before. It's been done at LSU. It's been done at Florida. You're doing it right now at Ole Miss, but the longer he drags this out, the more uncomfortable it gets.
And I would just say again, at LSU, yes, 3 of their last 4 head coaches, they've won national championships. They've also fired 3 of their last 4 coaches. The other one left for the Miami Dolphins. At Florida, over the last 60 years, everybody can win at Florida. Anybody can win at Florida. 2 have done it, Spurrier and Meyer. Ray Graves didn't do it. Doug Dickey didn't do it. Charlie Pell didn't do it. Galen Hall didn't do it. Gary Darnell didn't do it. Will Muschamp didn't do it. Ron Zook didn't do it. Jimmy McElwain didn't do it. And Billy Napier didn't do it. So that's 2 out of 10.
And let me add this, too. I know there's more going on in the world of sports, but I'll say this. At LSU, look at the dysfunction right now. With the governor is meddling in this search. They've fired their athletic director. I think it's a brand new president, if I'm not mistaken. You got the board of trustees that are basically trying to run this show. I mean, that's dysfunction of the highest order at LSU from the top down in every every facet. You want to walk into that? Okay. Look at Florida. I mean, they've got a recent basketball national title that they're real proud of, but look at the turmoil that baseball program is in right now with a coach who they've just completely let him do and run the thing however he wants. Same with the basketball coach. I mean, don't even get me started on that guy. And then the football program, you just ran through the list of failures, right? I mean, it's a 20% hit rate among their football coaches, and then they've got an AD there who I think, frankly, has overseen what is a continually diminishing product across the board at Florida over the past 10+ years in terms of their entire athletic department. So it's I don't know why you would want to go to either of those situations right now. You have all the money in the world. You have all the support in the world. You're building a legacy. So hey, look, I mean, if it's the NFL, I think it's a different conversation. Where if Sark leaves, I think Texas, okay, that's a different conversation. But I mean, Florida, LSU, like I said, man, this is not 2002. So it's just, it's a precarious situation here, and it's it's going to be interesting to see how it ends up.
Yes, all due credit to Coach Steve Spurrier and Urban Meyer. I'm giving that. I've said that. But here's the Florida Bowl games in the 80s. You ready? Tangerine Bowl, Peach Bowl outdoors at Atlanta Fulton County, Bluebonnet Bowl, Gator Bowl, Aloha Bowl, something called the All-American Bowl, even something else called the Freedom Bowl. Q George Michael Freedom.
Yeah, not exactly a great legacy there, pre-Spurrier,
But you hear every one of those Gator fans in Oxford this weekend, and you would think, and I defended them a few weeks ago and said that the better job is Florida over Penn State, and it is, but you would think their history is Notre Dame and Alabama combined.
No, it's all pretty recent. It's all pretty recent, but I get it. I mean, I guess the allure there is that Layla did go to University of Florida. Her family has a long history there.
Or
You know,
late
so I'm
father
sure
was
that's-
John Reeves. Yeah, legendary.
I'm sure that's
player.
a part of it, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be elements to this decision that we are not privy to right now, that we cannot see, that maybe Chris Lowe will inform us of, right? The personal
that's
side
the
of it.
good genes that Knox has. One granddad, Monty Kiffin, and the other one, John Reeves.
Oh, no doubt,
Born to
no
be
doubt.
a ball player, and he is, and he's a great
No
young
doubt,
man.
no doubt. And he's a part of that deal, the whole decision. I'm sure. You know, I mean, for the last time this decision was made by Lane Kiffin, his daughter had an influence on it. This time, you got to think his son, who's a starting quarterback at Oxford High, you got to think he'll have a say in how all this goes down. But yeah, I mean, you look at it on the surface, it doesn't make a lot of sense why you would leave for one of those two schools right now when you got this thing going the way it's going. But again, you know, when anybody makes a career decision, there's going to be personal elements to it that maybe we're not privy to, you know, from looking at it from the outside looking in. But yeah, it'd be a very interesting decision coming up here, and then. You know, it feels like the level of discomfort has really elevated here over the last 48 hours.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Talking to David Cobb, he joins us every Monday, talk college football and college basketball. Another big result over the weekend, Oklahoma on the road against Alabama gets the 23-21 win over the Crimson Tide, led by 10 early, 10-0, led by 10 again in the second quarter. Alabama comes back, take the lead. It looks like they're going to try to run the clock out and kind of waste time to secure a victory. Ultimately, OU nails a field goal early in that fourth quarter, gets the road win. Really impressive what Oklahoma's been able to do in the second year of the SEC. What did you make of that game?
Yeah, I don't really even understand completely how they've done it. These two victories for Oklahoma, both defensive touchdowns had a huge impact in these games. I mean, you go and look at the offensive stats, they really have no business winning at Tennessee or at Alabama. But when you get 75-plus yard defensive touchdowns to completely, I mean, these are 14-point swings that we're talking about here. And those are the kind of mistakes that Alabama had not been making all year. And it's why Alabama felt trustworthy, and they never beat themselves. They never shot themselves in the foot. Well, they sure did on Saturday. It's going to be really interesting rivalry week. That last week of the season, so much on the line. You talk about Alabama going to Auburn for the Iron Bowl this year. I mean, so much at stake there for Alabama's playoff hopes, for DJ Durkin's hopes of maybe winning the Auburn job. And then you look at it, the Ole Miss at Mississippi State, obviously, like massive potential playoff implications there. And then for Oklahoma, I mean, it may not technically be a rivalry, but they're gonna close against LSU, and that could be, I mean, a win or go home sort of game for OU. So it's going to be dramatic, and I thought Alabama had kind of risen above all of that, but no, absolutely not. They put themselves now in a must-win situation last week of the season.
How about this, David? I know the quarterback at in Indiana, and properly so. He's had a great year, and there are others. But what about Gunnar Stockton for the Heisman, and what about Kawan Lacey for the Heisman?
Yeah, I mean, Gunnar keeps making a really good case for it. I mean, he's been pretty much mistake-free for the most part. I mean, I guess he did throw an interception on Saturday, but he dominated that game for the most part. He's not made many mistakes. I do believe he's benefited greatly from an improved receiving core, and they had to give him that. I mean, regardless of who the quarterback was going to be at Georgia, he needed more help. Yeah, Gunner's been, 10 out of 10. An upgrade over Carson Beck and then some. I mean, he can make plays with his legs. He's
late game heroics.
Oh, no doubt. I'll tell you what's going to be a really interesting Heisman battle will be Gunnar Stockton versus Haynes King, Georgia versus Georgia Tech. I think
will be.
Haynes King ought to be getting some more love in that Heisman race.
David, you mentioned the prospects for Ole Miss. They're still, and it's not a wild scenario, beat State and still can play in the SEC championship game.
Still could, yeah. They'll need some breaks to go their way, but it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, that'd be an interesting element of it. And it's like I think for Ole Miss you would want to, right? Because you never done it before.
I want to be champions of the Southeastern Conference, the best brand outside of the NFL that plays organized football.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't mean to say that it doesn't mean anything, but I think it would mean a lot more for Ole Miss than it would for a lot of the other teams that are in the mix. But Alabama's been there, done that. Georgia's been there, done that. Texas A&M, it would mean a lot to them. It would mean a lot to Texas A&M, and they almost blew it on Saturday. Like that was about as dire of a situation as you could put yourself in the first half against South Carolina.
Shane Beamer will forever regret the exit at halftime.
Oh gosh, I mean, brutal. I mean, this whole season has just been brutal for them. I mean, it's kind of the inverse of last year. Last year they won a lot of close games and kind of had the magic touch, right? And this year it's like they just keep finding ways to lose. That was that. I mean, that's embarrassing. That is as embarrassing for South Carolina as it is joyful for Texas A&M. I mean, to lose when you're up 30-3 at the half, that's impressive, honestly.
Yeah, it really is. Well, David, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you again next Monday.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. We didn't even get into Tiger basketball, but maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
David.
David Cobb joining us every Monday to talk college football and college basketball. So much college football to talk about. Didn't really have time for college basketball. We'll certainly start picking that up the next couple of weeks. But yeah, probably a good thing to not have to talk about the Tiger basketball team and what they did yesterday.
This hour of our show brought to you by Landers Ford, the #1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. Landers Ford, your trusted destination for a vehicle that fits any lifestyle, and Black Friday pricing right now all the way through the rest of this month. The seamless shopping experience from vehicle choice to financing and service, the Ford Escape to the rugged F-150, the adventurous Bronco, every vehicle built Ford tough. The Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck. SUVs like the Ford Escape, the Ford Explorer, the Ford Expedition, Ford Broncos, and everything for the current and for the future, like EVs and all the hybrids. Transparency, professionalism, and long-term support with your friends at Landers Ford. They're playing the long game. Oil changes, tires rotated. Go online and schedule when it suits you best to fit your very busy schedule. Landers Ford, active in our community in Collierville at 2082 West Poplar Avenue, or you can go online to LandersFordMemphis.com. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Well, we need to get to another break. When we return, we'll talk about all of the SEC action from over the weekend. It'll be time for our Sissy's Log Cabin. Look back at the weekend in the SEC.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When life crashes into you, literally, NST Law doesn't just show up with a briefcase. They show up with heart. They sit with families after devastating wrecks, look them in the eye, and say, "We've got you." No scripts, no legal jargon, just real people fighting for real justice. If someone turned your life upside down, NST helped you stand back up. They've been doing this for over 35 years and have won billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or go to nstlaw.com. Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Don't pay too much for your next vehicle. Upgrade with Black Friday savings all month long at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. New Ford F-150s, $11,850 off MSRP. You heard that right. New Ford F-150, $11,850 off MSRP. Plus low APR financing available. Looking for more? We're paying top dollar for your trade. Bring it to Landers Ford and find out how much yours is worth. Or get started online now with the Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. The Black Friday savings are big. The best part, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. Don't wait. The best new F-150s will sell fast. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market. credit. APR with approved credit. Example, 2025 Ford F-150 XLT. VIN number 1FTEW3KP9SKD33353. MSRP $58,090. Ford retail bonus cash $4,250. Lender savings $5,600. Ford package discount $2,000. Sale price $46,240. Price tax, title, license, and $695 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 12/125.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HERD. That's promo code HERD. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins with promo code HERD in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Sometimes life can be challenging. Relationships can be hard. Work can be exhausting. Cold weather can seem to soak into your bones. In those times, there is only one solution: a bar. And not just any bar. What you need is Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Forget your troubles by settling in at the bar or at a table at Bell Tavern and let the comfortable atmosphere, coupled with the fantastic drinks and friendly staff, wash your worries away. Come to Bell Tavern and meet some friends or make some friends. And remember that all those things out there in the real world are nothing.
Sports 56 traffic.
I'm still trying to clean up this wreck with a lot of rubbernecking delays over here on 40 westbound, right at the 240 flyover. That's why it's just crawling. Trying to get past Sycamore View Road in the westbound lanes of I-40. Again, eastbound starting to build also in this area as you continue on out towards Fayette County. Midtown traffic's gotten heavier. 240 south at South Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service family-owned jewelry store. Stop by and see them this holiday season at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound of coming.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time for a look back at the weekend in the SEC. Brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the Memphis Grizzlies with 9,000 square foot in Laurelwood. Let's go inside the SEC with Bryant and Brett.
Chad Kelly in the gun formation. 3rd and inches for Ole Miss.
Carlton will kick it. It is on the way, and it is up.
Buck Bellew looking at it, going to pitch it to Herschel Walker, try to get him outside. He's going to get 5.
The snap is high. Kelly grabs it, wants to throw, fires it up in the air. Treadwell can't get it.
It is good! Oh, my!
Get a deflection is caught! Deflection is caught! And down the sidelines is Adebayo. He's to the end zone. He's in there. Touchdown, Ole Miss.
He's got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He needs a block. There goes Herschel. There goes Herschel.
And you can wrap this one in maroon and white, my friends.
Arkansas is headed to Atlanta.
The national champion is clad in big orange.
The wildest game of the year was the first game of the day on Saturday. Texas A&M. The history books will show forever 31-30. That doesn't tell close to the whole story, does it?
No, not at all. I mean, that is the game where you need all the context in the world to understand how that game happened.
And that was Saturday. My college football lock of the weekend, set plus 17.5.
That's right.
South Carolina, they cost me 1 point by giving up the biggest margin in Texas A&M football history to come back from. A&M came back and won that game. Down 30-3, little Shane Beamer celebrating at halftime like he had beat Clemson or something, running to the locker room. Lenore Sellers good in the first half, and then in the second half, well, he was Lenore Sellers. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what you're going to get out of him. How would you feel to be the people talking about South Carolina going to make the playoffs this year? They are now 1-7 in SEC and 3-7 overall. And Marcel Reed, he was great. 439 passing. 3 touchdowns, 22 of 39, had at least 6 drops. 503 yards total offense for A&M, and A&M comes back from that big deficit to win. And did it with A&M had 4 turnovers.
Yeah, it was weird. You talk about the quarterbacks. It was almost like they switched bodies at before the game and then at halftime. I mean, Lenore Sellers was good in the first half, then really bad in the second. Marcel Reed had 2 interceptions in that first half. Entered the game with only 6 coming into the season, so 2 in the first half was a ton. And then in the second half was unbelievable. Finished with 439 yards, like you mentioned. Added those 3 touchdowns. Texas A&M really couldn't run the ball in that game against South Carolina, but what Marcel Reed was able to do through the air gave them a big boost. And you said it earlier, Brett, it was really that third quarter. I mean, it was a big second half comeback, but they got all of it in the third quarter. So just a really unbelievable comeback from Texas A&M and just a disastrous plummet for South Carolina. I mean, like you said, had that game wrapped up, the entire team's running off the field, feeling like they just won the Super Bowl at halftime, and it's
halftime.
Always a little too early to be celebrating at the half, and we saw how the game turned out.
This week for South Carolina, they play Coastal Carolina at home, and then next week at home against Clemson. For Texas A&M, they're home this Saturday against Samford on Cupcake Weekend.
The Bucky McMillan Bowl.
It is. And then the Friday after Thanksgiving, they will go to Austin to play Texas. LSU 23-22 over Arkansas. Arkansas can create new ways to lose at the buzzer. People love it when it's empty seats in Oxford for Georgia State in the Citadel. What about all those empty seats at Big Bad Tiger Stadium? I hope they weren't too hot. I hope it wasn't too early. It's always too something for one of the biggest spoiled fan bases in all of sports. But LSU did win in front of about a half-full Tiger Stadium. Michael Van Buren was better than Taylor Green. 3 Arkansas turnovers. Taylor Green, I think he's gotten worse under Bobby Petrino. And Bobby Petrino, it's not 2011 anymore, is it?
No. And we talked with Ty a couple weeks ago, and he was saying you got to win one of these games, at least one of these games, for him to feel good going into the offseason to maybe get that head coach position. I don't see a way that you could name him the permanent head coach. But you mentioned on the other side, the big story for LSU was they did make the move to Michael Van Buren at the quarterback position. Garrett Nussmeier, they pulled him last week. The thought was, who are they going to start this weekend? Van Buren gets the start, and yeah, this was just a ugly game all around. I guess one team had to win, and it was LSU.
Arkansas, they go to Austin this week, 2:30 on ABC, and then 2:30 on SEC Net for the last game of the year at home against Mizzou. For LSU, they're at home this week. Back at 6:45, good, not too hot, not too early, good. Let's have the cozy kickoff times for LSU and Western Kentucky, and then the final game, 2:30 in Norman against Oklahoma. Kentucky 42-10 over entering the game 10-0 Tennessee Tech.
Number 5 in the FCS rankings. How about that?
A really good example. I know there are upsets. I know it's not always this case, but this is 10-0 and a team that can make noise in the FCS playoffs against Kentucky and gets routed 42-10.
Yeah, I mean
it's that big a difference.
Yeah, it's the levels, and it's a big jump from the SEC, any of these SEC teams, to even a really impressive team in the FCS ranks.
Now 5-5 for Kentucky. The Liberty Bowl, I guarantee you, they're pulling hard for Kentucky against Vandy and Louisville, because Kentucky would be and has been a good representative in the Liberty Bowl. Definitely. Kentucky, as I said, at Vandy and at Louisville to end the year. 5-5 now for Mark Stoops. OU 23-21 over Bama. OU special teams, they won it. It's a third of the game, and that really was the difference. First, Kalen DeBoer lost at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. All those that told me at winning at Norman was no big deal for Ole Miss, what about now?
Yeah, it's a really good question. You mentioned special teams. 11 points from the Oklahoma kicker in that game. That 11 points, those 11 points were massive. 2 extra points. He made 3 field goals. It wasn't a great day for the Oklahoma offense, but they came out early. They punched Alabama in the mouth on the road. They got up 10. They kept that 10-point lead. And then ultimately when Alabama made that punch, they were able to kick the field goal early in the fourth quarter. A massive win for Oklahoma. And now, if you're Alabama, things get a little tricky. You got to be perfect down the stretch.
Got to go down on the plains.
That's right. And that is not easy no matter who the coach is and what the circumstances
also have
are.
Eastern Illinois.
Well, yeah, no, that one will be a little easier, I would think.
Brian, get ready for it. 10-2 Ole Miss, 10-2 OU, and you're going to hear one of the national.comer with 100,000 Twitter followers. They will say, tweet, or write, well, Ole Miss beat them way back in the season, October 25th, early on a Saturday morning.
Yeah,
like it really doesn't count.
I was about to say, Brett, I love when the time of the game comes into play. Oh, that's even better. Oh, but it was an early kickoff. Oh, you just weren't ready for it. It's my best excuse. But, you're absolutely right. That is definitely going to happen if we get to that point.
2 years in a row, pick six for OU, critical against Bama, 80 yards rushing for Bama, 3 turnovers for Ty Simpson. It wrecked his Heisman campaign. As I said, Bama versus Eastern Illinois at home, and OU at home against Mizzou. Tennessee 42-9 over New Mexico State, 204 and a touchdown passing and 1 rushing for Joey Aguiar, 413 total offense for the Big Orange. This week, Tennessee at Florida.
Yeah, I think you covered it, Brett.
I think I did. Ole Miss 34-24 over the mighty Gators. And if you don't believe they're mighty, just ask them. Florida won't return to Oxford until 2028. Whew, that's not long enough. Key play, the vaunted Chambliss to Chambliss combo on fourth down at midfield. You talk about a season changer. And you got to have some luck. You got it for Tennessee. They had to have the Sterner stumble in a magical year. For Colorado, they had to have 5 downs one year in a magical year. Chambliss to Chambliss, that was a big play, but Kawan Lacey, 31 carries, 224, and he could have played another game after the game. Brian, he wasn't even breathing hard.
Really? Wow. Yeah, no, it was a really impressive performance from him. Like you mentioned, 224, 3 touchdowns, looked awesome in that game. And then Trinidad Chambliss, another really impressive game from him, another game over 300 yards. He looked the part. And I always love it when you've got that very rare play where you throw the ball, it lands back in your hands, you got to do something with it. And he was on his toes and picked up that massive first down like you mentioned.
And the Red Sea part, he got that first down.
Awesome.
And that was in really, really white-knuckle time. 301 passing for Trinidad Chambliss. Completions to 9 different players, including himself. Open date for Ole Miss Gators in the swamp against their old punching bag, Tennessee. Georgia, 35-10 over Texas. 3 L's with 2 to play for preseason hype garbage of all time at UT. Texas, number 1 in the preseason. They go into the last 2 games against Arkansas and A&M. Probably their 2 biggest rivals. Certainly A&M, and I think Arkansas, Oklahoma, maybe third biggest, with 3 losses already. Arch was back to being average, and with 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And the Arch running ability, I think, has been overdone. Yeah, it's better than his 2 uncles who were timed with a sundial.
I was about to say, it's not saying much.
I know he can run better than they can. But I don't see Johnny Football, or I don't see his granddad in his running game.
No, well, Brett, it all goes back to the one game he played his freshman year where he got out and scampered for, a 23-yard gain or something like that. And that one play, everybody was like, he can scoot, and it stuck with him ever since.
Gunnar Stockton thoroughly outplayed him, 4 touchdowns. And all these Ty Simpson Heisman voters, you need to be looking at Gunnar Stockton if you're just looking for something other than the Indiana quarterback and maybe some other players. Texas at DKR against Arkansas this week. Last game, Mizzou 49-27. Ahmad Hardy goes for 303 touchdowns. It doesn't break the all-time single-game SEC rushing mark that's held by Darren McFadden, who went for 321. But it was a great game for Ahmad Hardy. Mizzou, they're now 7-3?
Yeah, that's right. And it's been a good season, and they had to have Ahmad Hardy in that game. We talked about the injuries at the quarterback position, and so they needed somebody to step up. He was able to do it with those 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Had to have it, and now Mississippi State's still looking for that 6th win of the season in Missouri. Like you said, they keep rolling 7-3 on the year.
And that'll do it for a look back at the weekend from Sissy's Log Cabin. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler for the Grizzlies. And at FedEx Forum with the Floor Seat Lounge, Sissy's offers a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gifts since 1970 with all the great locations across the Mid-South, and they are ready for holiday season. Please stop by at that 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood at Poplar and Perkins. And there you have expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, we need to grab another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Primetime action from Las Vegas this week when the Raiders host the Cowboys. Dak Prescott and Dallas are coming off a bye and hoping to break a 2-game losing skid. Mike Golick joins me in the booth for the call of the Las Vegas Raiders and the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
O'Reilly.
Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the products for your next oil change. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a Wix filter for $35.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after rebate. Limits apply. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, Yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
What up, big guy?
I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number today is the number 9. It comes from college football, and rarely enough, this big number comes with a Q&A. So I'll start it, Brett. Brett, do you know who the happiest person is, or the happiest entity is in James Franklin being hired by Virginia Tech?
I do not.
It is Penn State, because his buyout, because he now has a job, went from $49 million to $9 million now that he has been hired by Virginia Tech. So Penn State.
That's real money.
Oh, that is very real money. So Penn State, I'm sure, throwing some parties in the athletic department that James Franklin got hired this afternoon by Virginia Tech. I mean, the fact that you were going to pay a coach $49 million, and that now, because he got another job, it goes down to $9 million, a huge win for Penn State.
If James Franklin, got to be fair and give him at least 3 years, if not 4.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't get it done at Virginia Tech, then doesn't that just scream that only one person could, and that was Frank Beamer?
Yeah, I mean, I think you brought
before
that up.
our sense.
Yeah, you brought that up very early in the season, kind of right when they made that coaching decision to fire and look for someone else. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it really has only been done by one guy. It hadn't been done since. It hadn't been done before. And so, yeah, James Franklin, who has you can say he has kind of a cap. He can't get over that cap, but I think everyone can agree, really good program builder, can get a team to a very winning level. If he can't do that at Virginia Tech, then yeah, I think it's more of a program thing than a coach thing.
And I know Sonny Dykes went to the national championship game at TCU, but except for that year, we might be seeing at TCU that Gary Patterson was the only one that could really do it like that in anything resembling a modern era. My big number is 224. That's how many yards rushing Kawan Lacey had Saturday night on 31 carries. He goes for 224 and 3 touchdowns for Ole Miss over Florida. It's the 8th most in an Ole Miss game in Ole Miss football history, and the most by Lane Kiffin, running back at Ole Miss. And I know we've turned the Heisman Trophy into the best quarterback award.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't been a running back win it since Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Would that be it?
I think that would be it.
But why not some running back love? Only doing it in the best league in the country.
That's right. I mean, he's been super impressive all season long. And so, yeah, I mean, I think he's got to have at least some consideration. And you look, I mean, it's not like we're talking about an SEC team that's, a 5-win team and they've just got a running back that's running all over the place, but they're not winning games. This is an Ole Miss team that is right in the middle of the playoff mix. And so, yeah, I definitely think you need to give some love to that running back that is really playing a big role for him.
David Cobb's words, not Brett, the Ole Miss radio guy, can win the national championship.
Yeah, that's right. He did say that. And so, yeah.
Derrick Henry is the last running back to win.
Yeah, so how could you not have him in the mix, or at least mentioned in the conversation for a Heisman Trophy? I mean, I think he's got to be there.
Long before we get to Heisman voting, and the Heisman will be awarded on Saturday, December 13th, the ballots will go out. Ballots probably go out after the regular season ends, even before conference championship games. No, a million times we don't wait until after the bowl games, because then, like awards and everything else, it would be so heat of the moment.
Absolutely.
you would absolutely forget what anybody did in September. It would all come down to kind of the playoff MVP.
Brett, it's such a good point because how many times, and it's going to happen again this year, I mean, you can book it, how many times have we done that quarterback or that running back or that receiver puts up unbelievable numbers in the bowl game? We're all going, man, look out for this guy next season. He's going to be the Heisman favorite next season. He's going to be the guy next season. He's going to jump in the portal and get a bag and be the best player next year. And then we never hear about that person again. So
you just described Lenore Sellers.
I mean, yeah, that's one of a few that you could probably
Arch
get
Manning.
Sure. I mean, there's a handful of guys that, a lot of these teams, they'll go to younger guys or, whatever in the bowl game, and they'll pop and start the hype train. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. You have somebody that has a nice bowl game or has a nice couple of games in the playoff, and they would absolutely be the Heisman Trophy winner, and you'd forget what happened the entire regular season. So, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world to have the Heisman voting when it does, and anybody that says it needs to be after the bowl games or after the playoffs, I think just ridiculous.
Just like the awards we just had in Major League Baseball. No, you find your MVP over 1 to 162 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have MVPs, and we have MVPs in college football for the bowl games.
That's right. And I think, you talk about the professional sports, and, I think you talk about the NBA, they kind of release the winners throughout the playoffs. I wish Major League Baseball would do that instead of waiting until the very end of the season, because I do think you get in that conversation with people that might not know how the voting goes or don't remember how the voting goes, and they go, oh, well, this person had a great playoff, that person had no, the playoffs don't matter at all. And so that is one thing I guess one of many things that I do not agree with Major League Baseball. I wish they would, let's start rolling those out through the playoffs instead of waiting until the entire season is over and we've already crowned a champion and then hand out those awards. So I think a little backwards there. But we need to wrap up this second hour, get to another break, and when we return, we've talked a lot of Tigers this afternoon. We've talked a lot of college football, Ole Miss Rebels, the SEC. We've got to talk the Memphis Grizzlies. It was a loss for them, but got a glimpse of what the potential starting lineup could look like. That was before Ja Morant left with an injury. We know now, thanks to Grizzlies PR, that he will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So some time missed for Ja Morant, but we're talking all things Memphis Grizzlies next with Michael Cole.
Sometimes life can be challenging. Relationships can be hard. Work can be exhausting. Cold weather can seem to soak into your bones. In those times, there is only one solution: a bar. And not just any bar. What you need is Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Forget your troubles by settling in at the bar or at a table at Bell Tavern and let the comfortable atmosphere, coupled with the fantastic drinks and friendly staff, wash your worries away. Come to Bell Tavern and meet some friends or make some friends. And remember that all those things out there in the real world are nothing.
Memphis is a love song to soul and style. With the full suite of sought-after designers, brilliant natural diamonds, an elegant bar, luxury VIP lounge, and more, a trip to our store is an experience like no other. Just like the city we love. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience Sissy's for yourself. Memphis is our home, and we're your jeweler.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Five-Ash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is rocking at Gossett Hyundai 1956 Covington Pike. Right now, 2025 Hyundai Elantra is only $273 a month. How about 2026 Hyundai Venue Week Gossett, $289 a month. And 2026 Ioniq 9 SEL 88 combined MPGE with electric range of 320 miles, $459.79 a month. Plus 0% for 60 months and no payments for 90 days available. And every Gossett Hyundai comes with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and the Hyundai Assurance. So hurry to the Gossett Hyundai Getaway Sales Event at Gossett Hyundai 1956 Covington Pike or online anytime at HyundaiGossett.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Venue TU 424-635, Elantra SUO 88-418, Ioniq TY 000-839, MSRP 68-840, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only. Must finance through HMA. Not all customers will qualify.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Cleanup on this wreck. It's had traffic slow over here on 40 westbound, right at the 240 flyover. It had traffic backed up all the way back Sycamore View Road, almost to Winton Road a few minutes ago with that slow go traffic on 40 westbound because of this crash being cleared here at the 240 flyover. It's heavy going eastbound right now, passing Germantown Parkway on out into Fayette County. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service family-owned jewelry store. Stop by and see them this holiday season at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Monday afternoon. We got to talk Grizzlies, and we do it at this time every week with DeMichael Cole, the Grizzlies beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. DeMichael, thanks so much for joining us. Plenty to get into when it comes to this Grizzlies team, but we kind of got to look at what the starting lineup should look like with everyone healthy. Now, we only got to see a little bit of it in that game against Cleveland, but I guess before we get to the injuries and Ja Morant, what did you see in that kind of brief stint that we got to see what I guess should be the maybe starting 5 moving forward?
Yeah, they look good. You know, they look cohesive, and like it was a very small stretch, so I don't know how much we could take from it. But a lot of the things that they want to do is we started to see play out a little bit. You know, we saw the physicality that Zach Edey was supposed to bring. Right, the rebounding looked improved, and that was a really good, rebounding team in the Cavs when you're going against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They have one of the bigger front courts in the league, and they bully teams. So the Grizzlies held their own in that regard. So you started to see the shift. And you also saw the impact of Zach Edey when he wasn't in the game, too, for stretches of the time. So I think, it was a tease to me. I think I wrote it in one of my stories that it felt like a movie trailer because, like you got real excited. Now it's like, now you got to wait a little bit longer for the real deal.
How much longer? We got the update today from Grizzlies PR. 2 more weeks to be evaluated. That's at least 8 or 9 games to go with the game that he was suspended. So much for 82 games played by Ja Morant.
Yeah, the 82 isn't happening, but I think just me speaking, I guess vaguely on the situation based off of what we know at this point. I think after he's reevaluated, we saw him at practice today. He was walking around a little bit. You can see he's walking a little gingerly too. So I do think this is a chance for them to kind of just let him sit down a little bit, and then I guess when you get closer to that reevaluation point, kind of start getting him back out there on the floor. And because you're going to need him. You don't really have a lot of guard depth right now.
DeMichael, anything from your reporting to indicate that the Grizzlies front office they're actively listening to deals and possibly trading Ja Morant? And I guess I would close with, is it possible? I guess anything's possible, but how probable is it that we have seen Ja Morant for the last time in a Grizzlies uniform?
I don't think we're at that point yet, and my sense of anything like that would be a summer thing. I just don't see it happening during the season, at least right now at this point. I feel like the Grizzlies were encouraged from that little stretch that they did see of those guys, and they're not ready to give up on that yet. The stretch where they played, Ja Morant, Jalen Wells, Cedric Howard, Zach Edey, and Jaren Jackson Jr. There's something to be said about, that group giving this team exactly what it wants to be going forward in terms of 2 bigger defensive wings, like we talked about in the past, a lineup with some shooting, rebounding, physicality. So I don't think they're ready to just give up on that, given that you only got to see it for a little bit in this most recent game.
But this another spate of injury with him, do you think there's anybody that matters in the Grizzlies front office of, we just can't get to this point again with protracted missing from injury? He's just always hurt.
Yeah, it's frustrating, right? It's a super frustrating thing, and I think they look at it in a different way from like how I gather it. It's almost like how he got injured. And if you look at the Cleveland game, it was a play where he and a guy were going for the ball, and like they bumped or whatever, and he ended up, getting a strained calf, out of a kind of a physical situation on a hustle play. So, I do think that the context of that, like, it's not, like he's sustaining like these constant soft tissue injuries or whatever the case may be. And I think that's kind of what he was alluding to last season. Like, hey, look, I got these contact injuries, but yeah, to your point, at the end of the day, when you look at the back of the, I like to say the back of the baseball card. You look at the back of the baseball card, you're going to see a lot of missed games. And it's very frustrating because this is a player that you're depending on. And it's frustrating for him because a lot of it is out of his control. And yeah, I do think, after this season, the pressure is going to be ramped up on, all right, look, we need to see a healthy Ja Morant because that's a big part of the way they're building this team right now.
Yeah, the most he's ever played in is 67. We know 65s for all the awards. I frankly would be shocked if he got to 65 this year.
Yeah, it doesn't look all that likely, given the situation. I really don't see it probably happening, especially given how many games he's already missed. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for him to get to 65.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked about the lack of guards because of all these injuries. The Grizzlies announced over the weekend that they've signed Jemai Meshack to a 2-way. He was with the team in Summer League. He was with the Hustle to start the season down in the G League. What does he bring? How much do you think we'll see of him over these next couple of weeks with all these injuries at the guard position?
I think we'll see a decent amount of him probably. I actually asked the Grizzlies about it, and we got to see him in practice a little bit more. But I think to his advantage, the Grizzlies, while they've been practicing, one of the things one of the things that he's been doing in the G League is a lot of the stuff that they do is similar to what the Grizzlies do. So there is that given advantage that, it's not a huge learning curve in terms of schematically. It's more of a learning curve in terms of just playing with certain guys. But yeah, they don't have point guards right now, and they need them. And, Jamal Meshack, he wasn't really a natural point guard at Tennessee. That wasn't the role he played there. So it is a little bit different in that way, too. But I'll tell you what, he's excited about the opportunity, and he talked a lot about just bringing that energy and effort to the team.
The last 3 road games at the Garden against New York, on the parquet against Boston, and Saturday night against Cleveland, that's high-level stuff. Tomorrow night in San Antonio, the same. Thursday night, home sweet home. The Grizzlies have to get home, don't they?
They got to get healthy. I don't care where they're playing at right now. They got to get some guys out there, man. I mean, it's a struggle for them to score right now. And even going back to this Cleveland game, they've scored 100 points. But if you take that 6-minute stretch out where Ja played, they were going to score under 100 again.
Mm-hmm.
And when they scored under 100 in their last game, that was the first time they scored under 100 in their last 24 games. And they just touched 100 against Cleveland. So right now, I mean, you can play in FedEx Forum, the Coliseum. It doesn't matter. They got
Pyramid.
The Pyramid. Yeah, go back to the Pyramid. They got to put some points on the board, guys.
You could play at Stokely. You could play at Thompson Bowling. Same thing, isn't it?
That's right.
Look, it's all about putting the ball in the net for them. I agree. It's the same thing. They got to score, and I think they have that sense of urgency, knowing that that's going to be the biggest challenge without Ja, without Javon Small, without Scottie Pippen Jr., and Ty Jerome as well.
Mm-hmm. DeMichael, we've seen the last couple of years the front office, the coaching staff trying to find additional ball handlers. They've gone to Desmond Bane. We saw them try that with him. We've seen them try it with Jalen Wells the last couple of years. With Cedric Coward, you've seen a couple of games this season, especially with injuries, them use him more as a primary ball handler while he's on the court. Is that something that you think they're trying to prioritize with him throughout this year? Or is it just kind of let's see what he's got as a primary ball handler? Where do you think they're at with him with the ball more in his hands?
You're definitely going to see more of that. You're about to start seeing it. I mean, in the next few games, actually. It's something that they gradually wanted to bring along as they add, to his speak. And I don't think they ever envisioned, hey, what if all our point guards aren't available?
Right.
So now you got to kind of expedite that process a little bit. And we've seen him play in the pick and roll a little bit more and more. But just some added context here, guys. He's going to be on a pitch count a little bit, over the next, I don't know how long, but right now he's sort of on like a minutes restriction after, the issue with his foot. He had kind of a stress reaction is the way that Isolo put it in his foot. So he's gonna be on a pitch count a little bit here. And I think that's going to play into that usage, right, in terms of they got to be really careful because, of course, he's a huge part of the future.
DeMichael, I truly respect that you're in the reporting business, and I'm asking you to be very speculative. Here's maybe more speculation. Any sign from the front office that you know of to Tomas Isolo of you're not going anywhere, coach the ball team? Anything like that?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think, you have a situation where my biggest gripe, I guess you would say, is I just struggle to see what this team's identity is. They're not good offensively. They're not good defensively. They prioritize speed, but half the league is playing faster than ever before. I mean, it's at least in the 21st century. So it's like, the speed thing, you're not standing out in that category because other teams are prioritizing that too. So it's like there's no formula of identity being established right now. But there is the added context of, how many teams don't have an available point guard right now?
Yeah.
How many teams, you missing your starting center, and we saw the difference that he made, and now that he's back, he's still on a pitch count. And you put Cedric Coward in the starting lineup, and now he's on a pitch count. So it's like even your best players, you can't just unleash them and say, here's 35 minutes for you, so to speak. So, I think the Grizzlies understand that context more than the average viewer. I'll say that. And I think it is a situation where there's a little bit more patience on that side, given that context. But I do think that, fans and viewers who have high expectations for this franchise based on the trajectory that we were seeing from 2020 and onward, I think it's right for people to have high expectations for this team. But I think certainly inside the building, they're a little bit more managed.
And the two home games for the rest of this month of November, Thursday night against Sacramento, I talked about, a week from tonight against Denver. Now that's some real star power with Denver, but also on a Monday night of Thanksgiving week, it could be some lean crowds these next two at FedEx Forum.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, when Ja Morant's not playing, that definitely factors into that a little bit. I tell people all the time when people are about to go to the games, and I guess when they're deciding it's almost every game, guys, where someone's texting my phone, "Hey, is Ja playing today before I get this ticket?" or something like that. So the fact that Ja's going to miss a little bit of this stretch now, they're going to be on the road a lot. So I guess that's the one thing going for you. But yeah, that's a big deal for them.
Mm-hmm. Talking to Michael Cole, he joins us every Monday to talk the Grizzlies. He's the Grizzlies beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. You had a tweet during that Cleveland game that I really liked. Said Santi Aldama makes some loud mistakes, but from a consistency standpoint, he's been really good for the Grizzlies this season. The needed rebounding and scoring pop. He's having a great first half against Cleveland, flirting with a double-double while coming off the bench. In that first half against Cleveland, he finished with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and I think you're exactly right for, the loud mistakes that he makes, seemingly one about every game, but this guy's averaging over 12.5 points per game, nearly 7 rebounds a game. For a team that's not scoring the ball very well and having trouble on the boards, he's giving you a nice boost off the bench.
He's giving you a huge boost. I mean, he's been the unsung hero with the rebounding. Like we talked about before the season, how terrible they were going to be, for obvious at least, how terrible of a rebounding team they were going to be. And they haven't been really good. I mean, that's no surprise to anyone, but they haven't been the worst in the league, and I think that's primarily because of Santi Aldama. He had that one rebound where Evan Mobley had position, and it looked like he was just about to snag it out the air. Santi, jumps and beats him to the basketball and tips it in right over, Evan Mobley's hands and gets 2 points on the offensive rebound. Like he said, a lot of moments like that. The loud mistakes are impossible to ignore. That's why they're loud mistakes. It's when he tries to do the fancy behind-the-back pass at a crucial part of the game, and then you get a turnover, and you're like, what in the world is Santi thinking? Or you got a little momentum or whatever, and you're like, okay, let's take a really good shot on this possession, and Santi gets the ball, and he chunks up a three-pointer, without the ball being swung around, and you're like, oh, no, Santi just, killed the momentum. So he has some of those type moments, but you look at the numbers, he's so far, I would say he's showing that they paid me and I was worth it.
Are we close to the end of G.G. Jackson as a Grizzly, or is he about to play his way out of the league?
I think G.G. will get an opportunity somewhere regardless. This is a guy who was an all-rookie team member. 2 seasons ago, and it's someone's going to give him an opportunity. I'll say that. I went back and looked, guys, because this is just such an unusual situation where a guy gets off to that type of start as rookie. Now, given the context of the situation, we know all the injuries happened and the Grizzlies kind of had to throw him out there. He wouldn't have made the all-rookie team if the Grizzlies were healthy. Right. Now, with that being said, if you go back to the other 9 players on that list, and I'll go by the names really quickly here, but Chet Holmgren is a starter. Derek Lively is a starter. Wame Jaquez Jr. Isn't starting, but he's averaging double figures, and he's a 6-man, very good 6-man for the Heat. Brandon Miller is a starter. Keontae George is a starter. Aman Thompson, Brandon Podziemski, Cason Wallace, Victor Wembanyama, all are starters. So it's not just G.G. Jackson, isn't living up to the billing as the rest of the guys who are on the first and second team, all rookie teams. They're all starting, except Wame Jaquez, and he's pretty much a 6th starter for Miami. So it's an unusual situation, and I say that to say that he's going to get another opportunity no matter what. Now, getting back to the situation with the Grizzlies, everything that I've heard has remained the same in terms of, look, they like GG or whatever the case may be, but again, you hear things and you see things. And what we're seeing is what led you to even ask that question, because he's not playing. He was assigned to the D League. Saw him practicing earlier. He was at practice with the Grizzlies. So it's not like he's, just staying down there in G League. He practiced with the Grizzlies. Man, it's an interesting situation because it makes you wonder what do they think about him on the offensive end? I think that's what we got to start having the conversation about, because we've heard so much like, he's got to play better defense. He's got to play better defense. There are some guys who aren't really strong defensive players that are getting minutes for the Grizzlies right now. So when you factor in that added context, it must be a situation where he has some inefficiency issues on offense in addition to the struggles on defense, and all of that in total is leading to the Grizzlies taking a more measured approach with his development before he sees the floor.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Cedric Coward earlier, kind of on a pitch count. Zach Edey coming back from injury. We saw him play that 25 minutes against Cleveland. What will his minutes look like over the next couple of weeks? A guy that has been out since early in the offseason, him ramping back up to the game speed. What do you think that will look like over these next couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's going to be the same way. Think of him as a pitcher on opening day, and then he gets to that second start, he goes up from 85 pitches to 90, and then he goes up to 95. Like, that's kind of going to be the situation here with Zach Edey. So he played 25 minutes in that first game, and during the game he felt really good, right? He said he felt progressively better as the game went on, but it's always about that next day. How do you feel that next day? He said, I definitely felt the mileage. Mm-hmm. So he felt the mileage of that first game back, but what the Grizzlies do a good job of is having these really intense, like, play groups and practice settings and things like that. That's something that, remember, Eastlow talked about bringing speed and intensity and things like that. So, in a way for these guys, and Edey touched on this, like, the games are easier than the practices because the practices are so intense. So, it's a situation where the medical staff is just going to be measured again in the approach with him. He's definitely going to be a pitch count, and they're going to manage his minutes here in the next, few days and before he's able to be a full go with no restriction.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the defensive end of the court, watching some of these games, I go back to, I think it was the Celtics game where, early on in that game, it was just Boston just knocking down shots. I mean, they were just making shots. It was fine defense. They were just making them. As that game progressed, it kind of turned into maybe an effort thing, a defensive breakdown thing, and I think the effort word is a thing a lot of people were questioning in that game against Boston. When you're 4-8, you're on this losing streak. What are you seeing from the effort standpoint from this Grizzlies team?
I mean, it looked better against Cleveland,
mm-hmm.
but before that, I haven't seen much of it. I haven't, and it's been one of the more discouraging parts of watching this team, because, like, my thing with good basketball is, even, when you add in the fact that, they're missing all these players and stuff like that, you still want to see the effort, because effort, to me, is a tone-setting thing. It's a culture-setting thing.
Being a pro.
And, yeah, it's being a pro. And when you go back to, like J.B. Bickerstaff is a coach who gets a lot of kind of credit now. It's like, man, wherever he goes, he puts that culture in place.
Sure does.
And we just saw a game where the Pistons were missing Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Tobias Harris, Jayden Ivey, and they had pretty much all these reserve guys in. And I think it was the Heat that they beat. But yeah, they won a game without all those guys playing, and it was pretty much effort. It wasn't because they had this super skilled group of reserves. It was, hey, look, we don't have our top guys, but you're not going to outwork us. We can control that. You might have better shot makers. You might have a better offense. You might have a better system or whatever, but our effort is going to at least keep us in this game. I haven't seen that energy with the Grizzlies that much. Like, I felt like against the Cavs, the effort kept them in the game, and that's why eventually the Cavs, the talent took over, at some point. But there were so many times, I think back to 2022, 2023, when the Grizzlies were resting players against the Suns in that game, and John Conchar started at point guard, and I think they had like DeAnthony Melton starting and Santi Aldama. and they beat the number 1 seed Suns team. You know, in Memphis, that was an effort win. The Suns were playing their guys. You know, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Aiden, those guys played in that game. But what the Grizzlies did was they played with effort, and it was enough to, you know, build a cushion and to be able to hang on. You know, when that more talented team gives you that final push, that's what we need to see more of. I think we saw some of that against Cleveland, but it hasn't been consistent. It's been more of the latter where the effort and energy haven't been there.
Yeah, it feels like that's also part of that fast start against Cleveland. They're looking good. They give that effort. It seems like some of these early slow starts, you know, they have a tendency to check out later in those games. But DeMichael, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Enjoy your week, and we'll do it again next Monday.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, DeMichael.
Thank you, DeMichael. DeMichael Cole with us from the Commercial Appeal. On all things the Grizzlies beat, and a lot is going on there. There's a lot is going on around town. It is getting close to Thanksgiving. Everybody at All-Star Chevrolet down in Olive Branch, they wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving from Drew DePriest and his whole great team. And it's time to gobble up those savings at All-Star right there in Olive Branch. They're thankful for all the customers and all of our listeners that they have in this area. Red tags for zero interest financing now on every new Silverado and Equinox, and your good credit, it deserves it. You'll get it at All-Star. All new Chevy Colorados and Equinoxes in stock are now just $100 over invoice. $100 over the invoice. It's time to gobble up those savings and be in what you really want to drive this Thanksgiving and into the holidays and into 2026. If you're in law enforcement, first responder, military, instant extra $500 bonus back. Olive Branch is where all the Chevys are, where all the barely driven pre-owned Chevys are. Every pre-owned you could want right there at All-Star. If you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star in Olive Branch and get the most money back for it first thing tomorrow morning. Don't miss the Gobble Up the Savings sale going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Together, let's head to All-Star. Or for more information, you can always go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, we'll see the Grizzlies again tomorrow night against the Spurs. Then they'll come home. And, Brad, I'll be honest, watching the Spurs this year, I don't know how you stop Victor Wembanyama. I don't know how the Grizzlies are going to stop Victor Wembanyama.
No, and will really limp home, and pardon the pun, as I've said a couple of times, just, you know, breathtaking, shocking, Ja Morant hurt.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's unfortunately not a surprise. Just the injuries just continue to get him, and now that news earlier today that
always hurt.
Yeah, I mean it's super unfortunate, and you know I was hoping that, you know, seeing that injury that maybe it wouldn't be as long, and then seeing the notification today that at least 2 weeks until he is reevaluated again, and we know kind of how that goes. Usually it means a little more time after being reevaluated. So we'll have to wait and see with Ja Morant. But we need to get to another break. Before we do that, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, the 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Let's get to another break. When we return, we'll talk this Monday night football matchup, the Cowboys and the Raiders. We'll also get to our big four quarterbacks all time for both these teams. That comes your way next on Sports Time.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Billions. At NST Law, we're talking billions and billions.
Corey, call on line 3.
We're talking billions. At NST Law, we've won billions of dollars for our injured clients. And there's billions more out there, a whole galaxy of cases to win. NST's the way to go.
MSD is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Corey.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Burr months, and that means even more savings at Family Leisure. Why is this time of the year the best time of the year to shop at Family Leisure? Because Family Leisure has new stuff coming, so they need to make room. Need a cover for your hot tub? How convenient. Family Leisure has them starting at just $249. Need new spa steps or a cover lift? Family Leisure has those as well, starting at just $99. Let's say you don't have a hot tub or you want a new one. Pick yours right now, starting at $24.99. Get your laps in with a swim spa, and prices start at under $15,000. In-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. Plus, if you need special financing, Family Leisure's got you covered. One final thing. Tell the folks at Family Leisure you heard this radio commercial. You get a free gift with a hot tub purchase. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Whitten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary. Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Still trying to clean up a couple of wrecks out here. It's been busy today up and down I-40 up here at Whitten Road. Abilene as it gets heavier in the eastbound lanes right now, right on schedule on out towards Fayette County. Trying to get south of Memphis, starting to build pretty good and a little bit more volume there in the last few minutes. Now to DeSoto County, 55 going southbound. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, they want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. Stop by this holiday season and shop with Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here comes the Hero Man.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Welcome aboard. ABC's Monday Night Football.
Well, we got to talk Monday Night Football, but before we talk about that, I just mentioned before we went to break about how to stop Victor Wembanyama when the Grizzlies are back in action their next game against the Spurs. Well, They don't have to worry about that because it came out about an hour ago. Shams Charania are reporting that Victor Wembanyama has a left calf strain and is expected to be sidelined for a few weeks. So no Victor Wembanyama, no John Morant for that matchup between the Spurs and the Grizzlies. So some injury news there from the NBA. But we do got to talk NFL, Monday Night Football, Cowboys and Raiders tonight. You can listen to all the action right here on Sports 56. We'll have the coverage starting at 7 o'clock. And hopefully this is a fun one.
Hope so. Alan Bell, 5-1 in the NFL this weekend, and still, still he has tonight's game to try to get to 6-1, and we have tonight's game. Dallas minus 3.5 in Vegas against the Raiders for as many Super Bowl as these teams have been in. They've never met in a Super Bowl, both with first-year head coaches. The Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, 3-5-1. More of a struggle for the Raiders, 2-7 under first-year head coach Pete Carroll, who's had a lot of success at a bunch of different stops, but trying to get the Raiders turned around. And it's been hard. Pete Carroll, tough to beat in primetime, 41-24-1, the fourth highest winning percentage among coaches with at least 50 primetime games.
Wow, that's a nugget right there.
Pete, and he had the Seattle going to the East Coast thing down. Man. Now, not as bad a travel, and tonight at home, so no travel at all. Over the weekend, I was 3-2 in the NFL, but hit my straight-up NFL shock. Bryant, you were 3-2, and Landon, you were 2-3 in college football. Landon 4-4, Bryant 4-4, and I was 3-5.
How about that? I like
and Bryant got the big win in the Battle of the Ravine, Landon.
He sure did. Gotta love it. It was a great game.
Still claiming it was a fluke.
No fluke about it. I mean, Henderson State dominated
that
game.
I did not see that
coming. The entire game, man, that was fun.
I swear, if Ole Miss gets left out at 10-2 over OU, and I lose these picks over the Battle of the Ravine, y'all are going to have to medicate me.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Maybe just pure tranquilizer right to the neck.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But yeah, the Battle of the Ravine was fun. Let's do it again next year, boys.
We will, the 99th version next year between Henderson State and Ouachita Baptist. Who wants to go first tonight?
I'll go first. Cowboys.
Shocker.
Well,
Landon.
We'll continue the shock train. Well, not much of a shock, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys as well.
Brett, let's do it. Group lock.
What do we spur down or something?
Let's get on the lane train and go group lock. How about that?
I love it.
There you go.
I'm all for it.
Dallas minus 3.5 at Vegas. In all seriousness, first game for the Cowboys since the
that's right.
Player took his own life. So
yeah, and they've been showing it.
They needed that open day.
They do. They did, and they got it. And you're seeing a lot of guys have been showing it on ESPN. A lot of guys, I think the entire team wearing warm-up shirts, honoring him. So, definitely going to be a sad night for them getting back on the field without their teammate.
Tough assignment. Big four all-time quarterbacks for these two franchises with a lot to pick from. A lot of Super Bowls, but some good quarterbacks that didn't win Super Bowls for both of these teams. Who wants to start on that? Same person that picked first. Okay,
I'll start us
go
off,
for it.
and I'll start with my Dallas Cowboys. I'll gotta get no LI in there.
Up front, I can tell you, I'm going to despise your list. I
bet you are. I don't think you are. I don't think it's that bad. But
we'll see.
We'll go with an OLI. Cooper Rush. I mean, what a job as a backup quarterback.
As I said,
I'm out.
Has done.
As I said.
Well, I mean, what a great backup quarterback Cooper Rush was for the Cowboys. I mean, had to rely on him to come in and give you starts. I mean, a lot with the injuries to Dak Prescott. So I got to give him a shout out. It's an OLI, so he's not in my top four. Now let's get to the top four. Number 4, how about former Memphis Southman Danny White? Danny White on my list at number 4.
Memphis Southman Grizzly, and he predominantly backup quarterback for John Hewitt, but full-time punter for the Southman Grizzlies and punted for the Cowboys.
Wow, I love that. So even more
when he was starting quarterback.
Jeez, I kind of want to move him up now that I have that information in front of me.
And so far, I was right in my despising of your list.
Number 3, Brett, my quarterback growing up, the one and only Tony Romo. He comes in at number 3 on my list. Number 2, Roger Staubach. Number 1, Troy Aikman.
Number 1, Troy Aikman over
Aikman.
Roger Staubach.
Yeah.
Okay,
Interesting. Love Aikman.
For Dallas for me, number 4, Dak Prescott. Number 3, Dandy Don Meredith.
That's a good one.
Number 2, Troy Aikman. Number 1, Roger Staubach.
I like it.
No Tony Romo. Between tonight and next week, Dak Prescott will pass Tony Romo as all-time passing yards leader for the Cowboys.
That's right. Ugh, I just couldn't put Dak Prescott on my top 4.
I couldn't put Tony Romo on there.
Well, I guess both of us couldn't put somebody on
I
our
just
list.
couldn't do it.
Landon, who could you not put on your list?
Well, I kind of combined both of you guys.
All right.
My number 4, Dak Prescott. My number 3, I went with Romo. My number 2, I went Troy Aikman. My number 1, Roger Staubach.
All right.
So no Dandy Don for you, huh?
No Dandy over here.
No Eddie LeBaron?
No.
No Gary Hogaboom?
Not for me.
Craig Morton, anybody?
No.
Chad Hutchison?
No.
Quincy Carter?
No.
All right,
I
Brian.
think my list was pretty straightforward. I don't think I considered many other people.
Clint Sterner?
No,
Anybody?
No, I didn't have.
Not for me.
I didn't have Clint on my list. All right,
Hope he didn't stumble.
Well, my Raiders big 4. Let's go number 4, Derek Carr. Gave them some good. You gave him some good years. Derek Carr was good. He was a good Raider.
All-time leading
Hey,
passer
good
for the
Lord.
Raiders.
I mean,
He was the
Raider.
He was the part
was
of
an
not all
OLI for me.
Not all of won Super Bowls. That's
right.
That was part of that for me.
That is true. Number 4 for me, Derek Carr. Number 3, Rich Gannon. Number 3, Jim Plunkett. And number 1, Ken Stabler.
Well, you went past Rich Gannon way too soon.
I'm
MVP
sorry.
of the league, led him to a Super Bowl.
Well, that is true.
I think beat the Titans in the championship game, didn't they?
Wow.
I know I didn't like him.
Yeah, there you go. There's a reason.
Number 4 for me, Rich Gannon.
There you go.
Led them to a
Okay,
Super
all
Bowl,
right.
MVP in the league. Number 3, Derek Carr, all-time leading passer. Number 1, Jim Plunkett, and he should be in Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And number 2, Jim Plunkett. Number 1, the Snake, Kenny Stabler from Foley, Alabama.
Good list.
Yeah, well, my OLI is Derek Carr. My number 4, I went Daryl LaMonica. I
love it.
I personally liked him.
Played in Super Bowl II. Led them to Super Bowl II.
Yeah.
Really good.
My number 3, I went Rich Gannon. 2, Jim Plunkett. Number 1, Ken the Snake Stabler.
There you go. Good couple lists.
If we combine these, how many Raiders make the list?
0.
Probably 1 for me.
I'd go probably 2.
I put Ken.
I would drop Meredith and Prescott and have Snake 2 or 3 rather 3, and Jim Plunkett 4.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
I'd probably
same
move
here.
those on. My list would probably be Aikman, Staubach, Stabler, Plunkett. I think that'd be a top 4 combined.
Jim Plunkett won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's hard to beat. Hard to top that. So, I mean, gotta give him a little.
And
little
real
credit.
resurrection of his career from
Yeah.
number 1 draft pick to really
Right.
football purgatory. But Al Davis,
Yeah.
I mean, he could find that veteran and get him right.
That's a really good point. I mean, it wasn't easy for him to do what he did. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. But we'll see what happens in this game tonight. Like you said, Cowboys Raiders. What was that line that we played off of again? I just kind of blindly
3
picked
and a half.
Cowboys. Okay, 3.5.
3.5.
Yep. 3.5.
All right, got the hook in there. So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. To cap off an interesting weekend in the NFL.
When do we take the Broncos seriously?
I think we need to. Or I think
Right now?
I think time's now. I mean, this Broncos team's good.
All right, especially down in these parts.
Mm-hmm.
The stereotypes run deep for Bo Nix, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they should, but I think they do.
But in the Pacific Northwest and across the Pac-12, they didn't run like that.
That's the thing. I mean, he's shown so much since his Auburn days, and unfortunately, I think those stick with him. But he was awesome at Oregon.
And they shouldn't.
He's been awesome in the NFL, and is really leading this team. I mean, it is really impressive what he is doing, and the fact that, I mean, they have now rattled off 8 wins in a row. Just really, really impressive stuff. Yesterday was the win over Kansas City. So, I mean, they're playing really well, and now they'll see a Washington team that, Brett, I don't know what was going on in that Madrid game yesterday morning. It was something broke out, and it wasn't football, especially towards the end of that game.
Yeah,
That's a banged-up Washington team. I think Broncos can win that game. At Vegas, I think they could win that game. Green Bay, I mean, it's kind of, I don't even know what to expect every single week with the Packers. So, I mean, this Broncos team's rolling, and I don't see it slowing down.
Can you ever remember this much conversation about a third-string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was the headline.
And a hot takery.
It was the headline, Brett, when he went in yesterday. I mean, it was everybody was talking about it. And then I think I saw a headline that his house got broken into during the game yesterday.
Well, that's
so
ridiculous.
make your first start and your house is broken into.
I think Shedeur Sanders will be okay when he becomes more athletic, gets a stronger arm, and grows a few more inches.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to
He
ask.
does those things, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's a good making for a good quarterback.
That's right. Yeah. Brett, I'd be a better quarterback if all those things happened to me. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to.
40 time was out of the 8s and into the 4s.
That's right. Yeah. No. So it is. The things go from bad to worse for the Browns with another. I mean, look. Maybe Shedeur turns into something, but there's a reason that he's been on that team, and they've had to go to different quarterbacks all season, and he's only been called upon now. Even against another rookie in Dylan Gabriel. So, I don't know where they go from here, and I mean the Ravens didn't look good
if
either.
His name was Shedeur Gabriel.
That's right.
Wouldn't be an utterance about it.
No. But obviously, comes from that family, has that father, and people talk about him. So, not surprising at all. But we'll see what happens in this game tonight to cap off Week 11 in the NFL. But let's go ahead and get to our final break. And when we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Your Memphis Tigers football team is home for the regular season finale Thursday, November 27th, as they take on the Navy Midshipmen at 6:30. It's a Tiger Thanksgiving feast, and the first 5,000 fans will receive a Memphis football replica jersey apron. Arrive early as we celebrate our seniors one last time at Liberty Stadium. Don't miss the action, the giveaways, and the memories. Visit GoTigersGo.com/tickets for more information or to grab your seats today.
It's football time in Memphis and soon basketball. And we cannot forget soccer. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and you shouldn't forget real estate, as it's a year-round sport. I've sold homes on every major holiday, including Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day. So don't think spring and summer are the only prime times to sell. What is more important is the prime agent you want representing you, me. With a highly successful strategic marketing program, people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. I may be the worst golfer in town and known as Mr. Three-Putt to my so-called friends. I am one tough dude when it comes to selling your home. During the upcoming sports seasons, interview 2 to 3 players, but definitely include me to lead your team. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Remember, Shell Dunn gets it done. Maybe not on the golf course, but I can sell your home. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546 and go Tigers.
You know, every year I encourage people to make Thanksgiving easier by having Central Barbecue do all the cooking. So you're going to do something different this year? God, no. Central Barbecue is the perfect choice to make your holidays less labor-intensive. No effort to do something original in? None. Why would I? You could slave over a hot stove for hours on end to make some fantasy of a meal for friends and family, or just call or go online and let Central Barbecue do all the slaving for you. That's the holiday spirit. It sure is. When a holiday is all about eating and then lying around watching college football, then you simply can't beat the ease and comfort of leaving it all to Central Barbecue.
And that's the pioneering spirit.
Michael Jr. here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Coming up from Las Vegas, it's the Cowboys at the Raiders. At 3-5-1, Dallas is coming off their bye week and looking for a fresh start to the second half of the season. For Vegas, at 2-7, they hope to get over the hump and end a 3-game slide. Join us for all the action on Monday Night Football.
right here on Sports 56.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000, sold in Mississippi.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Corporate Catering. Enjoy tacos made with crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. Find out more, call Jenny Nash at 901-606-3172.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously Crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, I learned a couple of things over the weekend. It was nice Saturday to watch all the college football action on YouTube TV with my multi-view going, being able to watch all the ESPN channels after they reached a deal Friday night. But what I really learned today, it was not a fun weekend to be watching those games if you were a Memphis sports fan. That's because Tiger football took the loss against East Carolina. The Grizzlies lost, and the Tiger basketball team lost to former head coach Josh Pastner yesterday afternoon. We know for the Tiger football team, they've got the week off, one more regular season game against Navy before they will go to a 12th straight bowl game. For the Grizzlies, we know they'll be on the road one more game before returning home against Sacramento. And for the Tiger basketball team, we learned earlier today that Purdue, who was the preseason #1 team, dropped a spot to Houston, now back up to #1 Penny Hardaway's group. They'll go up against that team, and then they'll face one of two really good teams in Wake Forest or Texas Tech. So we'll see where they go from here.
For your little YouTube TV, now you know your bill's getting ready to go up.
Oh, I'm sure. That's fine.
And you still got the buffering issue, right?
No, mine doesn't buffer. Mine
Ever?
No,
Never ever?
Not really. No,
you get little time?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little behind, but it's not anything to go crazy about.
And your bill's getting ready to go up.
That's fine, but it's still cheaper than the other options.
I didn't miss a thing.
That's fine. I didn't either. I had other logins. Brett, I can give you logins. We can share logins. I mean,
I can't do it.
I've got logins for everything.
But I learned P.J. Haggerty. Remember him? He plays tonight against his old school, Tulsa. But tonight he goes against TU. In his last 3 games at K-State, 27, 23, and 23.
Yeah.
I hope NIL funding wasn't pulled from Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Because tell me how, between FedEx and Bill Laurie, you don't get P.J. Haggerty back, and especially since we heard how great his relationship was with Penny.
Yeah.
How do you let that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest question. I'd love to know what happened over the offseason with that recruitment, with that transfer portal that ended with him being at Kansas State. And you're right, he has had a really nice start to the season. Brett, what I could have done without Jamar Chase, suspended 1 game for spitting.
He should be.
Oh, we were over the spitting thing. It felt like week 1, we had a lot of spitting, and I thought we were done with it. But here we are again, I guess.
I think they've got to up it.
I mean, and
up it to where people stop it.
I mean, good Lord. I mean, I don't know what you can do. I mean, let's stop the spitting. It's gross.
I could have done without this. I can remember back in the lazy, hazy days of summer listening to this very radio station and hearing an assistant coach on with Greg and Eli say that Doug McDaniel would be a first-team All-American. Who needs Jeremiah Martin or Kendrick Davis or P.J. Haggerty when you have Doug McDaniel, 6 points, 6 turnovers, 1 of 10 yesterday, 13 turnovers in 3 games. He's not making any first-team All-American team.
No, very streaky shooter, and we saw the rough side of the streakiness. I mean, it was a really, really bad game yesterday against UNLV. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to Vegas for Cowboys and Raiders. Raiders all-time on Monday Night Football, 43, 34, and 1, 21 and 11 at whatever the Mercurial Raiders call home. They were the original NIL team, portal team, weren't they?
Yeah.
As a franchise. 5-5 the last 10 on Monday Night Football for whatever town they're in. Cowboys, 50 and 38 all-time on Monday Night Football. First Monday Night Football game. 1970, a 38-0 loss to the Big Red St. Louis Cardinals.
Let's make it a win tonight. I like the score. Let's just make it a win instead of a loss tonight against the Raiders. Yeah, I got to beam to that game as well. I wanted to beam to a college basketball game. Just couldn't find anything other than Tennessee Rainwater playing tonight for Lemoyne. That might be name of forever in college basketball. That's a good one.
Dak Prescott, again, needs tonight and next week to move to number 1 all-time in passing over giggling and grunting Tony Robo.
Yeah, well, he does a lot of
in the American tonight, we got Coastal Georgia against
FAU.
And Rhodes. Rhodes against UAB.
I'll tune in for that game, Brad. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll have it on one of the screens and see what Rhodes can do against the Blazers of UAB. That's right. Go Lynx.
Are they still the Lynx?
They are still the Lynx. You nailed it, Brad. Hey, don't second guess yourself. You nailed it. You got it right. You got
it's
it
late
right.
on Monday.
It's very late on Monday, but that's all time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.